Creo que no voy a poder jugar.
Hello everybody! Welcome back. It's DevStream 173, our first DevStream back since TennoCon 2023. Interesting group of folks over there.
Got some stowaways.
Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Carrie.
We wish. Yeah, we wish.
Oh man, the circus must be in town,
The
am I
circus
right?
is in town, yeah.
We have a
No entendí
lovely
una mierda,
crew,
Calci.
a bunch of
Yo
people
voy a
on
jugar
this couch, so why don't we
aproximadamente
just
con
get
el
right to
cambio
with
de la
introductions that I
licencia
forgot to do during
I don't even know their
Tengo que
names.
sigue rota, puta
Let's
madre.
just find out.
Who are
¿Cuánto?
you?
You know who I am.
¿Cuál cambio de licencia?
Okay.
Hoy van a hablar del Warframe nuevo que
Let's
es
go.
Dagat, que va a salir en Halloween y es una
Hi,
jinete
I'm
sin
Steve.
cabeza.
Hi.
I'm Megan.
La
Hi,
interacción
Rebecca.
del demo con el
Hola, Pablo.
látigo. ¿Tiene
We work
server de
on
disc?
a
Tenemos
couple
server
different
de disc.
games, but
work at the-
at the
We
same
work at
time
Digital Extreme
together.
Games.
We work at Digital Extremes making games.
Ahí.
And we are going to
Hey, I
talk.
put in my work.
You did.
I put in my work.
I know.
You did.
I know. We have lots
I
of
worked
Ahí.
hard on those broken mods.
hey.
Oh, sorry, spoilers.
We'll get to that. We'll get to
Bueno,
that. Before
mejor.
we jump in,
Ya no se enciman las voces, nice.
what is probably going to be a bit of a longer stream. I'm not going to lie. We're going to try our best to
We
keep
were
it.
tricked.
Dicen que va a ser largo el dev stream. Vamos a ver qué tan largo.
We might be here just for maybe a bit over an hour. But
Ah,
we'll
bueno,
see.
una
Get
hora no
comfortable,
es
get
largo.
snacks,
Pensé
get
que
your
largo
hydration.
era 2 horas o
We
así.
will be on the test build today.
Ay,
We're gonna
miren
be
su
showing off,
sombrerito,
as we mentioned
quiero
during
más.
Tenno Live, everything Abyss of the Goth related, all of the
Quiero un sombrerito con orejitas de zorrito.
The goth.
Dagoth.
Dagoth.
the Goth.
Dagoth.
Yep.
Dagat. Ni siquiera ellos saben cómo pronunciarlo.
Find
Luckily,
out.
in-game pronouncement is.
Luckily, grandmother will pronounce it correctly for us eventually.
Cosplay
We'll
de
find out.
Kiriko dice,
Um,
ay,
We
ahora
will be
quiero
in
un
the test build
sombrerito
today,
con
so you might see some PH
orejita.
stuff, some work in progress stuff, but we'll walk you through it. It's actually
Es una
obviously
boina
it's
con
Thursday, so it's a
orejitas,
double
lo
stream
sé,
today,
y a mí me
so we'll have this
encantan las
stream and then
boinas, se
Prime
me
Time
ven
later on
bonitas.
with
No es
myself
por
as
nada.
well. So
Dejaré la
same
humildad al lado,
time.
pero las boinas
Myself
se
and
me ven
Zach,
bonitas.
You just gotta do it straight, because this
Yeah,
one's
I'm
gonna
just
go.
gonna stay here.
Voy a seguir estudiando otro día con más tiempo me paso. Dale, Glu, tranquilo.
A bag of Tau Forged Archon shards.
Boina furra, sí
Not only
señor.
could you get one, you could get two.
Which I was
Aquí
like,
sí hay
I don't
drops,
know
gente.
if
Ay,
this
sí hay
is a lot
drops.
of
Nice, voy a
shards, but
ponerlo
that
en el
means
título
if you've
entonces.
endured what could be a 2-hour stream, you deserve 2 Tau Forged Archon
Exactly.
shots. It's a grab bag, so you don't know what one you're going to get.
Exactly. There's obviously the 3 that you know, could pick from, and you're going to get 2 of those for
If you watch the whole time.
if you watch the whole time, start to finish. You will get 2.
You're trapped with us.
Yeah.
Now, is it true that
Nice.
you might have injured yourself?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Don't know what
Because
you're talking
is that a glove or like I can't
Ay,
It's a
tiene el
style
brazo.
statement.
Chale, ¿qué
really?
le
So it's
pasó
like
a
a new
nuestra
fashion accessory to
waifu?
get a cast
Yeah,
on your wrist
actually.
that you broke?
Yeah.
And,
It's-
and is it true that Megan actually gave away how that happened?
It is true.
On a
Megan
prime
on
time?
prime time. It
Yeah.
is also the gossip stream, apparently.
But has it been said on a dev stream?
No,
though?
because it happened between TennoCon and now. So
Okay.
Would you like to tell the people?
No, I don't think it's important.
Buenas.
Don't
Miren,
you-
llegó
You
Silvia
were
a comentarlo con
so-
nosotros.
You're so focused on Warframe
Estamos viendo
as
el
a
dev
thing
stream.
that you had to break it doing something
Mira, tu esposa
Warframe
se
related.
yeah,
rompió el brazo.
Limbo is my favorite Warframe.
Ya me dijo que le era duro, pero
doing
pues,
the Limbo dance.
Sí.
And I fell. And I broke my wrist and tore my ligament.
perdón mi
No one
gente,
can say you're not dedicated.
Okay.
Exactly.
me lo armé crítico si no aguanto.
No one needs to know.
It was just a big finale.
The story is that she had already won.
Yeah,
Who's the real winner? You.
exactly.
You.
You'll actually see that I'm using this to my advantage this stream. And I'm looking forward to revealing.
Yeah. It's
Oh
interesting timing.
yes, yes. Interesting.
Silvia era híbrida,
priorities.
era
We only have an
híbrida
hour,
en
my
development.
friends.
Yeah, go.
Moving right
Megan.
along.
Okay, okay, sorry.
Moving right along. We also have gift of the
Estado
love
sí,
certs.
crítico.
Those will
No
go
me
live at
aparece
3
nada
p.m.
del
like we
drop.
normally do for
¿Alguno
24
recuerda cómo
hours. We
lloró
have a
Rebeca
ribbon
cuando le
sector
dieron?
and
Ay,
midday ribbon
sí.
because in this update, we
Preciosa.
have
Y como
2
lloró
dailies.
en la Tenocon porque se
I didn't
emocionó
even
porque era
plan that. I
presencial.
just-
Hey!
So maybe
Good
subconsciously I did.
segue, yeah.
Thank you. And
Confírmeme entonces si hay
obviously
drops
September
o no
20th
para
now,
tirarlo
but
del
September
título
30th
porque
will
tampoco
mark
quiero
the
embarajiñar a la
30th
gente y que se queden
Observe
sin drop por
National
estar viendo
Day for
aquí.
Truth and Reconciliation.
No.
The day honors the
Ay,
First
acá no
Nations,
vota.
Inuit,
No
and
le
Métis
parece.
survivors of the residential school system. And Digital Extremes
Si hay drops.
recognizes this day and has actually donated towards the Atlausa Family Healing Services located here in London. And they provide indigenous mental wellness programs, 24-hour emergency
Ok,
women's shelter, and so much
aquí
more.
me dijo que
So if
lo
you do feel
ponía
inclined
Carlos
to donate during
y...
this time, you can
Te voy a
use
decir
hashtag
perro.
truth in
Perro.
chat to
¿Cómo
donate. So we
¿Cómo
will
quieres
be
que
in
te
minutes.
diga? ¿Cómo
Yes,
te
thank
puedo
you.
decir por tu
Like I
nombre? Yo
mentioned
intento
at the
memorizármelo.
top of the hour.
Pero sin
TennoCon
problema,
2023
tengo otra ventana con el
Yeah.
stream
How do you
puesto.
feel? It's been
Perro,
a month?
el
It's been
perro.
exactly a month.
crazy that
It's been
it
only
¿Cómo te
1 month.
puedo
August
decir?
28th was TennoCon 2023.
Es que es
It
raro
is September
llamarte
28th.
perro, es
It's been
como me
1
siento
month.
como muy
The
malandra.
big lesson I learned is that we don't need to go all out for TennoCon.
Katy, mira el
anymore and
Discord.
just
Coño,
let
ya va, es
Cosmo
que como
show
tengo
a
el...
quality of life slide.
Say
From the
hydrate
show.
rework.
I've never heard a crowd pop.
The hydrate reworks.
Va,
Yeah,
está
that,
bien.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, how do we follow that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. 6 months grind on Soulframe, and it's like, here's a quality of life slide.
Cabeza de
Give
perro.
the people what they want.
Bueno, no, pero eso es más malandro
It's
todavía,
true.
el cabeza de
How are
perro.
we feeling? 1 month after, we're back at the grind, like we're back in it again. How are we feeling?
Amazing.
Really,
Yeah.
really good. You always get
Yeah.
super scared and anxious for those days, and then it just goes like that. You get to meet so many people. It's great to feel really old when someone says, I started playing when I was in high school, and
Oh
now
my
I have a
God.
career. And I'm like, oh, God, just withering away before them. But yeah, the in-person is such a different energy. I love it so much.
It's so good for the studio to go through that again
Yep.
because it's been so many years. and
We
so
had new
close.
people
Yeah.
that were just, in the crowd experiencing
La camisa de Megan es neta con
outpouring of
Titan, ¿no?
energy and love and appreciation for what they did. So it's great for adrenaline and great for morale for everyone.
Yeah, I think there was some highlights for sure. Like for me, it was
Volví
probably
a
my
jugar
favorite TennoCon ever,
Cyberpunk.
just 'cause
Ah,
we got to
qué
do
hermoso.
Every time I looked at the
Sí.
screen, you were crying.
I
You had a
cried that
microphone in
day.
your head. You're just like, ah! Like tears of joy, but you're just like crying. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened?
It's just a lot. It's a lot of good feelings and the team together and the community together. And I know Danielle was happy that we had gummy worms this year, and I knew that for me, from my point of view, getting the gummy worm. Oh, no! I wanted to catch
Did
it.
you plan that?
Yeah. I didn't catch
Maybe you
it.
should have told Megan. Oh my God.
¿Por qué se lo lanzan si está literalmente
Are you
manca?
jealous? Do you want to bet?
Es que
If I
estaba
get
planeado.
sad, yeah, maybe.
If you have
I
to make
don't
Danny
know.
throw it again, oh my god.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, you have one in your hat?
I got lots of tricks up my sleeve.
Tenía uno en el
Kind
sombrero.
of warm and ugh. I'm
Quiero
not sure I
ese
like this.
sombrerito.
But yeah, it was a great TennoCon.
I don't even know how to proceed.
There's Bowman Boss
Camiseta que
crawlers
tiene
too.
Megan.
I feel like it's
So
done.
Está bonita, ¿verdad? Sí.
We had a really great, honestly, still buzzing from it. I'm so happy that we got to show what we're working on, and we're going to spend the rest of the year. Like today, we're going to talk about the Dagoth update, what's coming in October, and we're really going to.
Que van a hablar de lo que van a hablar hoy va a salir en
We probably
octubre
have
todo.
over an hour of things to talk with you guys about in the community for that update. Favorite TennoCon ever for me. Really fun to see everyone. The team is the biggest it's ever been, and we're working on more than we've ever been working on.
Esta
I
fue
was
su
very
TennoCon
happy.
favorita, porque
I
es el
think
equipo
the
más
only
grande
thing
que han
that could
tenido.
have made it a perfect TennoCon is if we didn't have the heirloom situation go as it did. So I'm just kind of going to speak from the heart here on that. For me,
Sure.
that was really the only thing that I wish we handled a lot differently. And for, if we continue with the heirloom program next year, we are going to be making pretty radical changes based on feedback.
Ok, está admitiendo que la cagaron con los heirlooms de Maggie de Frost.
We did make some changes, and we will next year for next year's TennoCon if we do an
Que si
heirloom
continúan con las
V2,
cosas de
we
heirloom van a
absolutely
tratarlo
are gonna make
diferente.
Pretty radical changes.
Y que van a
for,
hacer cambios
how
radicales
we're
al-
gonna raise those.
porque
So
la cagada
if
que se
that
lanzaron
hadn't
de las hayas y el
had the
precio de los
reaction it
paquetes,
did, it
supongo.
would have been a perfect day, but obviously we make mistakes. I'm not saying that holistically everything with heirlooms was a mistake, but there was clearly some things that just did not make people happy. And the
Las
adjustments we
hayas,
did make,
Rebeca, la
honestly,
cagaron
we
con las
gave a
hayas.
reasoning in the
El
forum
resto está
post
todo
about how
precioso.
we felt we could fix
Pero
things and still
sin
honor
hayas,
the
más
promises
barato,
of
la
what
gente te
people
lo compra
actually
más.
bought. So from there,
Es muy
that's
caro.
V1
Estas son las gomitas de las que habló el
next year
Mister.
will
No, no,
be
el
V2
Mister habló
heirloom
a
once
los
we get
creadores de contenido
ourselves in a
les
position
mandaron
to
unas
commit to
gomitas
it
especiales.
and decide
No eran gomitas,
if
eran
we
más
think
bien como
we
unos
need,
dulces.
like, a complete refresh of the pack.
Ojalá y aumente más cosas a los
For
paquetes
a
ahí,
different
así
a different batch next
recibo
year,
más
I should say.
cosas.
So,
Yeah, I think I can see in chat people talking about FOMO, but also like people obviously love the skins themselves. They're just amazing.
Well, that's the thing,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
that's why,
And
yeah, it's
so I think it's just.
Es que el problema
tuning
fue
that
el precio
stuff
del
and you're good to
paquete,
go.
o sea, es que si hubiesen quitado las hayas, simplemente quitar las hayas.
I knew it was
Reduce el
coming
precio del
when
paquete y
the
ya,
vessel was
lo
there.
vale.
I knew it was coming, and then the music
oh, the
kicks in.
demo.
and-
We're back to
and-
the demo.
and
Okay,
just-
we're back to the demo.
just-
Okay,
oh, yeah,
what do
the
you
demo.
mean?
And just
You
moving
knew it was
there.
coming. You didn't warn me.
And then the 9 Inch Nails, and I was just like, oh, because everyone was loving it, but
Yeah.
I was just you wait, just you wait. Yep,
The biggest scheme of
yep. And then
Bait and
obviously Megan killed it with the
Hay drops o
playthrough,
son
which
en
is
el
always a
stream de ellos.
huge
Los
amount
chicos
of
me dijeron que hay
pressure.
drops y
Megan,
Carlos
Danny,
mandó
throw
una
that
captura y tiene
trophy.
drops. Pero si no te salen en los streams del cel, cierra el stream y vuelve a abrir.
Got that sword?
O refresquen, a ver.
Some people think that they're watching a video and they're not. Like we always try to show you the game. We always show you the real stuff. A lot of people thought the Soul Frame was like a video edit, and it wasn't. It was Sarah and Joey playing it live, and then just the amount of rehearsal, as you know, and people are tuning it and changing the demo and tweaking it, and you're like, don't look left when you're supposed to look right, and all that shit. It's just it's intense.
Maybe someone sent you a lot of notes about Grimoire and what you could and couldn't do. Don't print those straight.
Cada vez que tengo.
We have it. Don't move.
Ay, no lo sé, puede que sí. Puede que sea eso.
Doing a good demo.
Gracias por, no sé, salió una notificación, pero no me salió aquí. A ver.
Then casually look right, but don't look right too
Pero bueno,
fast.
quien haya
Don't
sido,
think
gracias
you're
por el follow,
anticipating
besito.
it.
Mua,
And the
bienvenido al
same
escuadrón.
thing, like Soul Frame, obviously, with the smaller team, in the last minute was like, we were saying to Joey, like, don't hit Garen when he's doing a special attack, or you'll break his entire animation set.
Needless to say, all of these games are ready to ship, and none of these
Sweat,
concerns
sweat,
are real.
sweat.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was a great day. We'll,
Yeah.
buckle up for next year, but we have a lot of things in between.
A lot of great things.
This is going to be a
That
long
we are
stream
excited
already. We're already, what, 11 minutes in? Stop! Go, go, go.
I'm not off TennoCon yet.
Oh, Lina,
One thing we
¿cómo
also
estás?
did, obviously we were celebrating 10 years. We also teamed up with King's Coast Coffee to do Warframe Lotus Blend Beans.
Let me smell those
Wait a
beans.
second.
those
Wait a
beans.
second. I didn't know
There
this.
There you go.
I want some coffee.
Tranquitos, no
Good.
pasa nada.
Hand-picked.
Wait, are you opening it?
I want to smell
Yeah,
beans.
open it, yeah.
¿Por qué lo van a abrir? Si no van a hacer el café, no lo...
We gotta rip it open.
Ay, ya van a joder una bolsa de café para olerlo.
No, I do.
¿Qué es eso? Café. Hicieron un blend de café
So cool.
que se llama el Lotus Blend. No sé por qué será el Lotus Blend. No sé qué habrá hecho Lotus con esos granos de café.
You were a coffee nut,
Pero-
so I wouldn't be
Es por
surprised if
el,
you
por el
picked this.
10º aniversario.
Wine bags of
Okay,
beans.
yes.
It told me nothing about them,
Okay.
and I just tasted all of them.
And
I picked one, and they were like,
Guatemala.
"That's an interesting choice." And I was
Mexico.
like, "What does that mean?
Sí.
Like, is that okay?" So, anyways, they are
Yo
delicious.
quiero.
beans. I've
¿Quieres,
had-
¿quieres los granos de la
This whole stream
Lotus?
is full of beans.
Esa
Exclamation point
risa.
coffee
How did
if
we
you
get
would like
back
to
here?
get your
That's
beans.
brutal.
We do have a limited supply, so exclamation point coffee if you want to get yourself some Lotus.
Yo sí decía que
Necesito-
conocía a Pablo.
Necesito ese gorrito.
Even just like the art and stuff. I think
cool,
Vamos a ver si lo
It's neat,
consigo así
taking a great job
rapidito.
and all that stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Can I smell it though?
Yo sí decía que a Pablo en algún lado lo había visto.
¿Por qué?
You can
And this
literally
is
rip it.
selected by
Ese
you.
cabrón
This is
creo
your
que a mí
flavor
me dio
profile?
clases
¿En serio?
I
¿En
had a
dónde?
very
¿En la
jazzed up
universidad?
afternoon when I made
En,
4
en,
different kinds of
en mi
coffee.
escuela, sí,
I had to
antes
taste
de ir a la
test them all.
¡Qué
universidad.
I noticed you
cool!
didn't let
Él
anyone
fue
drink the
profesor
coffee.
suplente un tiempo.
Ahora dicen huele a Lotus y las ventas se disparan. Bueno, si dicen eso,
I'm so sorry.
los pájaros lo van a comprar porque que huela a Lotus quiere decir que huela a Rebeca. Entonces se imaginan, tipo, ¿será que qué habrán hecho con Rebeca y esos granos de café? Sus pichos. Sus pichos.
Stunning. It was incredible. We recently got news that the Kitchener-Waterloo Symphony, who are the orchestra individuals doing that DeVere
Sus
music,
pichos.
recently abruptly filed for bankruptcy to the surprise of all of our musicians, which was really unfortunate, really sad. And DE has, donated to support those musicians, but if you
Bueno,
also feel
no
compelled to do
encontré
the
ese,
same to
pero
support
miren
our
este.
lovely DeVere musicians as well as all
¿Será
the
que
other
me lo
musicians
compro y
who are
hacemos
part of the
stream con
Kitchener-Waterloo
gorrito?
Symphony?
Gorrito
And do
furro.
exclamation point symphony
Este está más
in the chat.
adorable porque
We'll
tiene
send you a link to their
cuernito.
GoFundMe if you feel the need to support them.
Y al siguiente stream
They did
aparece
an
Katy tomando
incredible job
café.
at TennoCon,
Ah,
and
yo apoyo la emoción.
they can obviously get back on their feet and make some more
Bueno, lo voy a
incredible music.
guardar.
They're
Cuando
absolutely
cobre lo
incredible
compro.
musicians.
Está muy adorable, miren.
Yeah, and supporting the arts, I think if you can, that would be amazing.
Parece Chopper.
Are you? Did I do a good job?
Yo apoyo la emoción, pero con
They
violencia.
smell incredible.
They taste better.
Okay,
All
wow,
right.
okay.
Moving on to
Coffee nerds.
what's next. October is
Why
a
everyone tuned in.
Ok, ya van a empezar a hablar. Ya se van a meter en el
Things
tema.
going on. We'll get into the Abyss of the Goth update, but we also have some in-person things
nervios.
happening. The community team we are headed to Las Vegas, Nevada for none other than TwitchCon 2023 and returning to
Hay alguien que está en Las Vegas, lo dudo, pero pregunto igual.
2023.
Oh,
Look
that's
at
cool.
that.
Estaré
No way.
encantados con el olor.
Apparently
No,
we
we did
did
not.
not get
So
invited.
even though you're in the asset, you're not going.
Bueno, van a
Thank
estar
you
en la
for your
TennoCon
picture.
en la TennoCon,
We are going to be
en la
growing
TwitchCon
TennoVIP
de
2023.
Las
I'm
Vegas.
familiar what this means. It basically is the community
Vale, ha sido decidido y hacer
going
spawn
to
con
an
violencia en el
event,
juego. ¿Cómo así?
renting
¿Cómo
out a
así?
restaurant or whatever it may be, and just having a really good
Ha
time with
sido
our
decirlo y
community.
hacer
There'll be
spawn
prizes. I might give away a legendary
spawn
core because I have no boundaries.
violencia en el juego. Ah,
That happens in Vegas.
dijiste con violencia y te pareció
It
violencia.
is a free event. It's going to be happening on October 21st. It's going to be at the Paris Hotel. We rented a ballroom. It's going to be Abyss of Dagoth themed. I have a cardboard cutout of Dagoth because she doesn't have a head. And
Oh,
you're
do
gonna be
players get to put her face in
Yes.
it? Oh.
¡Ay, lol! Hicieron como un cartón tamaño real de Dagat para que en la TwitchCon la gente sabe que Dagat no tiene cara. Entonces puedes ir y poner tu cara en el coso de Dagat y eres Dagat.
No, someone should dress up as Steve, so it's like Steve is there.
Some
Buen
Steve
merchandise.
Yeah, because that's easier than inviting me.
It is. One less plane ride. Exclamation point 10
Sí, estuve en una experiencia en camino a hacer con unos amigos.
To RSVP
Ah.
your tickets. We do have a limited amount. We have a limited amount of space.
Please only RSVP if you know you're going.
Yes.
Like, please.
Please and thank you. If you're going to be in the TwitchCon area, Las Vegas, and you want to come to 10 VIP on the Saturday, please come. Would love to see you, hang out with you. We're going to try and get back to these next year because we're, back in that traveling realm of the world, I guess. But this is the start of it. So we're excited to be back at TwitchCon as well. We'll be walking around, hanging out.
And if you do go to Las Vegas and you go to Magic Mike, it's not a strip show, okay? It's acrobatics and dance. Okay?
¿Por qué aclara eso?
Which was so Oh, sorry.
Están hablando de algo de que se llama Magic Mike. Supongo que saben que Magic Mike es una película de strippers.
Moving along, we lost nothing, we gained everything. Moving along. Also in October, although it's spooky month and we have really fun things happening, it's also a very special month for Warframe and digital extremes because we have our Quest to Conquer Cancer campaign that will be running for the entire month of October. We're going to be raising money towards
Son
the
siempre
Quest to
los
Conquer
mismos,
Cancer
los mismos
Foundation,
accesorios, ¿no?
located
Los
right
que hacen como
down the road
contra el
from
coso del
Alto,
cáncer.
and you're going to be unlocking special rewards for yourself, as you can see.
¿Harán tripping en la TwitchCon? No, pero no sé, por eso te digo que no sé por qué sacó el tema.
No está tan caro el café.
¿Cuánto está?
$18.
Es que una bolsita de esas de café no da para tanto café.
Es que viene el whole bean
Ajá.
para moler.
Ajá.
Viene un medium y viene el French press.
Ah, bueno, si te viene con el French press, ya ahí es otro tema, está bien.
You're showing the UI. Not yet.
I'm getting there. I'm so sorry. God. We have some
bonito.
beautiful display by fan artist Melee Bun that
Siempre
could
la
be
misma
yours. We have a new
decoración.
glyph and sigil.
Warframe
We
antes
have a new
molabas.
Vermink flute. Oh, that's the in-game version right there on my floor.
Quiero ese peluche
We have
rosita.
IRL
Lo necesito.
version.
Es-
This was
es el que
actually
tiene
voted by you guys
con-
last year on what floof you guys wanted to see for this year's campaign, and you got the Vermink. So there you go, Steve.
Oh, thank you.
Ay, no, un peluche rosita IRL.
My deer
Art,
shirt.
we have the toque. Oh, it is a very exciting time to be a Warframer. And as well, as Reb mentioned, the UI theme.
I don't know if you've seen this yet. Oh, okay. It's
I have.
Oh, wild.
yeah.
Look
Lo
at that. New
necesito.
Conquera theme and background, and it works exquisitely with other themes.
¿Cuánto
as
costará?
well. It is
Oh,
so
good.
Ay, está muy bonito.
It's beautiful. Another incentive for just the entire month campaign of October. It's going to be kicking off on October 2nd.
Necesito
Danny
rosita.
and myself will do a lovely little kickoff stream on Monday and get you all up to speed with what the incentives are and how the month is going to play out with our awesome creators doing their
Si
Quest to
participaras en la
Conquer
campaña te
streams.
lo
It's gonna be
mandan.
another epic month. Very excited for it. So we'll see you October 2nd for that.
Voy a chillar.
Great.
It's gonna be so good.
Also in October, Tennotober. If you are an artist and you enjoy Inktober,
Papi,
this
¿tú
is
no
Warframe's
jugaste la
version of
beta
it,
de
where we
First
do
Descendant?
really
No
awesome
pude porque
Warframe
es que me
props
coincidió
for
justo una
artists.
entrega de la
What's the first
universidad
one? Do we know?
y yo tenía el acceso a la beta.
Y
I actually do have art
juegas.
for everyone.
Estuve
so-
hasta el culo. Cuando salga lo jugaré. Le damos. Saqué los drops, estaba viendo a Mister jugar y me recordó mucho a Destiny por cómo se veía.
also
Es
happening in
Destiny con
October.
Warframe.
Bueno, le
Pero
damos.
genial.
Le damos cuando salga, le damos.
No, yo ya tengo hasta wifi y todo en ese juego.
¿La coneja?
No,
¿Quién?
la coneja es buena para PvE, la de Veneno. Freya se llama.
Verga, que el nombre que le pusieron. Mitología nórdica, nice.
La Bonnie, y tenía un skin que se volvía Kulova.
¿Culona?
Sí, de mamás.
Ok.
Porque regalaron muchas skins. Y esa coneja es bastante buena.
No sé, no lo pude jugar.
Okay,
Solo vi a gente jugarlo. Ay, es tan bonita.
So cool. Oh.
Dios, a mi Valkyr se le verían bellísimas esas alas.
As it struggles for its last gasp at life, as though it has been torn
Pero es que
from
eso
the very viscera of the
es
darkest
una ciandana,
recesses
¿no?
of your mind.
Esa es un
Está preciosa. Destiny más Warframe más Outriders más Anthem más Defiance. ¿Qué es eso? Lo compro. Está precioso.
But not only that, we
Wow, what
also
a
have
cool
some
design.
Sentinel accessories.
Es una ciandana, es una ciandana.
Look at the little spooky guy. Here we have the Cavum Sentinel.
Ah, son de Halloween, son de
accessories, so we
Halloween.
can look at his little, he's got a knife in his head.
Oh
Yes.
man.
¿Es un kunai, no es un knife?
I think it's a kunai or
Looks
a
like a
despair.
kunai, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yes.
Okay. Yep.
Someone got sick of their companion dying over and over
Está
again and
bonito.
decided to end its
Sí.
misery by a
Sí, pero los
lobotomy,
colores que le
so-
pusieron medio menos,
Amazing.
pero está bonito.
Sí,
El
la
kunai
verdad.
está cool.
As well, this is coming.
Eso es de First Descendant. Sí, es que
yo
yo te vi jugar y me llamó la atención porque yo jugué Destiny, me gustó, pero hay algo en Destiny que no me atrapó.
I guess I have a couple tricks.
Entonces, si es una combinación de cosas que me gustan, supongo que me va a gustar mucho.
That's not
Y por lo que vi, es el tipo de juego que normalmente me gusta
Where
jugar.
this is my good ideas creative direction sheet, and I thought
It's
Es
sort
que
of
esos son los
sweaty
colores de
and
Megan, no me
fast like
gustan los colores de Megan.
vampire plus lotus equals happy.
Son los que son
So let's take a look.
Se me va el nombre.
We have the
La fusión de todo eso porque tú también puedes leviar.
So for those of you that have been
Ooh.
playing Warframe through a lot of our Halloween events, the Lotus sometimes looks like a vampire. She has blood on her face. Her skin turns this ghoulish blue. So we'll have a Nabarus Lotus skin that will have the blood detail there. So you could permanently have.
Ok, vamos a tener esta skin de Lotus que va a parecer una especie de vampiro con esa piel así azul y el detalle de la sangre. Entonces, si la consiguen, va a quedar permanente.
Pull off my thinking cap.
Oh no.
Solo a ella le gustan, sí, al parecer.
God,
Okay.
no. I'm sorry I asked.
Parece más un zombie, sí, ¿verdad?
Sorry I
2:30, so we're
asked.
gonna just.
Okay.
Bueno, ya no dijo vampiro, dijo ghoul, tipo el
All
ghoul.
right, it's time for what you
El
have all
ghoul.
been waiting for, and that is to
Ghoul,
talk
no sé
about
cómo
the
se
update, Abyss of the Goth. Rev, what do you got?
Yo solo digo que esos colores van a fastidiar más de un monitor. Puede ser.
Can anyone even read that?
Otra skin de Lotus y yo con la skin Lotus amalgama.
All right, we're gonna get into everything.
Yo no
that
recuerdo
Abyss of
con
the
cuál me
Goth
quedé,
is.
creo que me quedé
That
con la original.
includes, you know, the new Warframe, our 54th Warframe. That includes all of the quality of life. That includes everything in between.
Everything
so
in
are you
between.
ready?
I am ready.
Okay, update. This is update 34. It's a full number update. There is a lot. We are going to walk you through all the content that's coming this October.
Ok,
for
vamos a ver todo el contenido que va a salir en la actualización 34, que es la próxima en octubre.
Yeah,
Vamos a ver.
we love to see it. All right, here she is.
Daggett.
Oh.
Dagoth?
The
Dagoth?
game?
You choose.
Now, in my hat of many ideas, one of my creative direction.
¿Creen que se le vean?
highlights
Creo
in
que
my
se le
career
verían
so
bien
far
las alas, o
is the
la
debate,
ciandana
should
de
we
las
keep
alas que
her
tenía
thighs
ahorita.
thick? And of course, I had to settle
Los
this
colores que
disputed
tiene por
debate
base
Sí,
están
sí, sí,
preciosos.
sí,
by
está muy
saying,
bonito.
Keep the big thighs. So that was a very exciting career highlight for me.
Good.
Uy, que le dejaron los
Okay,
muslotes.
HR with that
Me
one.
encantan los muslotes.
I think it's important.
All right, so here we have Dagoth in her default thick thigh form. She's coming with 2 idol animations. This is one of them.
Viene con dos animaciones de idol.
Agarres a las manos.
She will also be coming with an ultimate.
Soldiers,
This is the
gracias por el
Ay,
follow, bienvenido al
ese
escuadrón,
casco
besito.
está precioso.
Oh, that's
It
actually
is
Casco.
stunning.
Yep.
If you
Stunning
ever
work.
wanted to be a
Como para usarla de almohada
unicorn,
bufanda.
I'm trying to rile you.
no brainer.
Está bonito.
Ese casco está bueno.
Wow.
El casco no sé, a mí no me
Will be
gusta
coming,
tanto.
with the update as well. This ephemera is a tease for something later. Stay
Yo le
tuned.
dejaría el
Very
otro,
cool,
el
sort of
del...
witchy
el
language
primero nomás.
vibes. Love that.
Yeah, We'll talk
Se
more
asemeja
about
al
this
cráneo
stuff
de una
for
vaca.
her, but Megan has a lot to show us with her.
Oliver.
I did a little bit of fashion frame. Jeff, what do we think?
So far, so
So
good.
far, you're.
Well, the
kind
first
of-
two were
you're being
neutral.
pretty restrained.
Yeah.
Una pregunta un
yeah.
poco chorra.
So
¿A ese le
so
pueden
far.
hacer?
I told you earlier.
Supongo
I
que
had some
sí.
good stuff for
I know
you.
you did.
Well,
You're
this
not
one.
confident. Yeah, you're.
It still works.
El color del, el color
that is a
del,
winner.
del protovire,
That is
si
a
le hubiese
winner.
puesto quizás rojo, se vería mejor. O vino tinto.
Ay, eso es muy Megan.
Ese sí, ese sí me gusta.
She's got her mane. She's a unicorn. Come on, Jeff.
Mire, y es los colores que usó, azul, rosa y
I
blanco
have
o
to
negro.
interject here. Skyers, who sculpted.
¿Cómo andas?
converted
Bien.
Goth from the
Ocupada
male
con la
concept
uni,
to
pero
female
bueno,
frame.
Devstream, no podía
Provided some
saltármela.
screenshots as well
El
for
efímero
a
lo dañó,
artistic approach to
le
some
dañó el
fashion
fashion.
frames. So,
Sí,
Danny,
quizás el
the first
color.
one
Yo le
is
hubiese
like
cambiado el
the
color.
Skyers special,
Brutal to you, isn't it?
pretty cool,
Yeah. Okay.
looking like.
Nice pose.
Ese está bonito.
And then because de
I'm
Goth.
nervous about where this is going.
Me gusta
Cráneo.
mucho eso, justo eso iba a decir, me gusta mucho el cráneo que tiene.
She is inspired by a lot. Yeah, and of course the Dullahan
It's actually pretty cool.
helmet will be coming
Ay,
back.
verdad que vienen esas calabazas. Son
No tiene cara,
geniales.
no, porque es un jinete sin cabeza. Bueno,
Anyways,
una jinete
so
sin
the
cabeza.
Goth, our 54th Warframe. We are going to do a little
Me
bit of
encanta
gameplay in a
demasiado el
minute
detalle del
that will
cráneo.
feature her brand new signature blade and whip, the door clap.
25% de crítico.
Lo de la espalda es un efímero. Si estabas hablando de lo de las luces esas que tenía, sí, sí, era un, creo que era una ciandana.
You can screenshot that if you wish. We're going to talk a little bit later about its
Oh, esa es la nueva
special
Warframe. Sí,
traits,
se llama Dagat y va a salir en
in the
octubre en la
quality of
actualización
life section of
34.
this update, but we're going to
26
just
de
skip over
crítico,
that for a moment.
14 de estado.
And we're going to go right into some gameplay.
Después de 20
Yeah, so
kills,
with the Goth,
entra en un estado en
Daggett,
espectral
we really wanted to
que dobla la
try and do a
penetración
seasonal
y garantiza
theme, but
status
with obviously a
effects.
permanent Warframe. You know, like she's part of the game, so we wanted to look for some references we had from some of
¿Cuándo
the
sale la
sports that
actualización?
really
En
felt
octubre.
horror
No
and
sabemos
found
aún
his
qué día,
bonds
pero va a
so
ser la actualización por
I
Halloween.
know, all this stuff is so not
Ahorita
Baltimore.
también mostraron una ciandana que está muy guapa, que es como de un ala, como de murciélago, y del otro lado tiene como flechas así clavadas, está muy bonita.
And what was really important, I think, for, you know, as we get through her abilities, is the idea of an undead vengeance, curses, and a lot
Sus
So for
habilidades
her
están
abilities,
inspiradas
we wanted-
en
well, you'll see her ultimate may or may
venganza,
not incorporate
¿qué dice?
Maldiciones.
Maldiciones.
because her lore
Y un
is all
montón
gonna
de
be
daño.
given to you in the context of a Nabarus tale, which we'll talk about a bit after. But you'll get to see some of that. But for Daggett, her first ability is Word Sights. This is a radial from you. You're getting these kind of spectral sides that will target enemies. So you can see here, you can cast it. You'll get a big spin of those Word Sides. Dealing damage.
Ok,
targeting
esta es su
enemies,
primera
and
habilidad.
so
Sale
this is kind of
ese
your
aura o ese
initial
espectro a su
damage
alrededor y
burst
hace,
with her, where you'll be getting those Word Sides.
genera daño.
And viral damage type, yes.
Cool.
¿Qué
Now,
tipo de daño dijo?
The
No,
kit
no
is
escuché.
really
Viral.
focusing around, which will shock you. We have never used an ability called Doom before in Warframe. so her first ability is Word Sights. It's doing viral damage. It's
Hacer
cleaning
daño
areas
viral.
around, Daggett, and then off you go to target
Y es
enemies.
de
But once
limpieza.
you cast Doom, it's going to be a cone in front of Daggett, and it's cursing enemies.
Okay.
So these enemies are doomed. The curse lasts a duration. And these cursed enemies get what we're calling the Phantom Wrath curse. So she has a cone in front of her. She's hitting enemies with Doom. If you hit your your Word Scythe on them, it'll do additional damage. It'll do more instances of that Phantom Wrath curse, which creates this sickle over their head that does additional damage instances. So once you see that sickle
Pero la
above their
maldición que
head
hace los
on those
ralentiza.
doomed enemies,
Aparte
as
que
you
les
hit
da,
them with
le
your
das
Word
más
Scythe,
daño.
you're really going to be
Sí.
spreading a curse and delivering continued damage in the
Daño
form
continuo.
of, Doom and
Ok,
in the form
la
of,
segunda es una
Word
maldición. La maldición genera daño continuo. Al parecer los ralentiza, no dijeron que lo ralentice, pero por
Just
lo
like
que estamos
Hades,
viendo.
hey.
¿Y qué más? Daño continuo,
Pues,
ralentiza.
Archer hizo
The Tenno. Then we have Grave Spirit, which is kind of her damage buff and survivability ability.
Buff de
So,
daño,
Megan,
la
you've-
3.
You've pressed 3. You have your Grave Spirit on. If you die while this is active,
I'm trying to die.
Si mueres mientras está
Megan
activa
has
la
died.
3.
She's now taking a spectral form, which is a instance in where you're kind of truly a Grave Spirit. This has a timer, and then once this wears down, you will have this ability on cooldown. So this is very much a, while you have it active, if you were to face death, you will enter this Grave Spirit realm,
Ok,
and then
si
you'll
te
come
matan
back
con la
and
3
that
activa,
ability on cooldown.
se activa ese tipo de
However,
estado
with
que
Grave
eres como un
Spirit,
espíritu.
You get crit damage buffs.
Y bueno, cuando se acaba, supongo que, ajá, como vieron, no mueres y queda en cooldown la habilidad.
Achieved via the Doom ability, it's that big build synergy. So we want to doom them. You want to have your 3 up, which is called Grave Spirit, and you're just kind of going to be cycling through, keeping that active, doing more crit, cursing enemies with the Doom, and then your 1 is obviously going to.
Dijo que da más crítico, ¿no? Ajá, sí.
Rotation. And now for the ultimate. You ready?
Buenas. Oli Sigantar, ¿cómo estás? Tiene por acá que haces a Warframe. Ahí vamos más o menos diciendo lo que va haciendo cada habilidad. Por favor, que su forma de farmeo no sea más jodida que la de Citrin Jisoo, por favor. Ok, la 3 aumenta el crítico. Y si mueres, queda como un modo espíritu, o sea, cambia. O sea, técnicamente puedes morir una vez y no mueres.
Ay, qué ulti tan bacana.
Ay, está preciosa. Es de limpieza. Este Warframe es de limpieza.
Oh, why don't I?
Yeah. As you know, in open worlds, you can, you know. Yeah, so this is her
Ya conseguí mi drop, yo también.
custom cave cosmetics that Rakali had adorned on her.
Bueno, entonces tiene la 3, mejora el crítico y te salva una vez si te mueres. La 2 es una maldición, se llama Doom, que hace daño continuo, ralentiza, y no recuerdo qué era lo otro que hacía. Y la 1 es como un espíritu a tu alrededor que da daño. Y viral, daño viral, mete viral. Pero la ulti está preciosa.
Tearing down their defenses, you're going to be spreading that curse, which is really important.
Ya salió Chayanne, ¿no?
If you kill an enemy while the curse is active, there is a spread mechanic. And yeah, you're just going to be tearing through enemies with this.
La maldición se expande, se esparce.
Quedan los drops, están dando un Tau forjado.
And the passive?
Oh, yes, her passive.
Soy nueva en el Warframe. Ahorita van a dar eso, que se pone con el gelminto para mejorar ciertos atributos de los Warframes. Pero si eres nuevo, no sé si tengas todavía, o sea, vas a tener el drop, pero no creo que lo puedas poner todavía, no lo vas a poder infundir.
So those pickups will have a chance to just be much, much stronger. So similar if you're using things like Arcane, I think it's Arcane Pulse or Arcane Energize, you'll be able to.
Soy rango 4, sí, está chiquito. Todavía no tienes el gelminto.
Tú
píllalo igual, sí, sí, eso sí. ¿Cuál fue la pasiva?
Potencia los orbes de curación y energía.
No lo puedo usar hasta que haya completado rompevelas. Tengo Warframe. Sí, Baruch es bueno. Todos los Warframes son buenos si los sabes utilizar y buildear bien. Y si no sabes, te ayudamos en el Discord. Depende, te gusta yo-yo.
She is our headliner Warframe coming in the Abyss of Dagoth update.
Dagoth, Dagoth, whatever.
Questions?
No saben, pero no se deciden cómo pronunciarlo.
Obviously the biggest question, don't even. You just wait. No, just wait. I know. I have my cheat sheet. The biggest question.
Me da risa porque tiene como un montón de hojas para saber de qué tienen que ir hablando.
How do you
get? You haven't said much. Do you want to?
I got a lot to say later.
He's saving his voice for the quality of life. Yeah.
All right. So with Dagoth, we have a 2-prong approach. Well, actually 3 technically, because you can buy her in the market. But for players that want to earn her, there is going to be a combination of kind of giving new content to the.
Ok, ¿cómo se farmea?
You can go to gameplay now, Danny, by the way. Sorry. The core original 6 syndicates are going to have something that we're calling abyssal beacons. This abyssal beacon, right now it's using a placeholder image of a void key, but they're very much inspired by the original void key system back in the day. They're basically treasure maps to a haunted ship that the Grineer foolishly piloted their galleon to what we're calling the abyssal zone. The ship's not doing so well. The syndicates all have members aboard, but you can grab those treasure maps and you can run to Ceres and run these abyssal beacon keys to earn the resource from what we're calling Vein Thorn, which is the thorn of an extinct rose.
Had to be a rose.
Had to be a rose.
Had to be a rose.
Por fin le dan uso a los sindicatos que no sea farmear armas.
To build the Goth and her haunted sanctuary known as Dagoth's Hollow.
Ah, Dagat se farmea en la
Ok.
cripta de
So
ella.
for the Syndicate Abyssal Beacons,
Ellos habían dicho eso.
key share, if I
Ok,
have
entonces
one,
compramos
I
esta
play
baliza,
with
esta
friends,
baliza
we
nos
can
da un
each,
mapa.
run our
Y
maps,
en,
quote, unquote,
en
run
un
key
sitio en
shares,
particular
and get the,
vamos a
it is
farmearla
the
que
most
dice
important thing.
Bainthorn,
It's like a
son como
twist on
espinas de
things.
rosas.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
Es el recurso que se va a farmear
Yes.
para
Yeah,
sacar
so
a
you'll be
Dagat.
clearing out those,
O Dagat, no
ships
sé
in
cómo
the
se
Abyssal
pronuncia.
Zone to get your Voidthorn, and
Se
there's
farmea
obviously
como
a pack
Grendel.
variant as well
Solo
that has
que
more
parece
core
lo que hacen con
Bainthorn
Grendel, solo que con los sindicatos.
yes,
Yo lo
so
jugué
Dagoth's
con los temas de My
Hollow
Little
is a
Pony.
dojo room that is
Esta es su
Queda muy
cripta, es un
esa
salón del dojo.
tan
La tenemos que
bonita.
This new
hacer,
space is gonna be
Silvia,
for
hay que
your
hacer
dojos
esta...
where you'll be able to, first of all, you'll be able to customize your cave outside of the Duviri setting. So if you don't like going into Duviri just to modify your
Vamos a
cave,
poder
you can do it
cambiar
in
el
Dagoth's
kite aquí
Hollow. This
esto va a
place,
ser una
will
habitación del
house
dojo
both
nueva, que es la
bases.
cripta de
This is where
Dagat.
your cave will be.
No se preocupen, la hacemos en el
That's
dojo.
right, I don't
No
have
más
an
salga,
issue.
la
That's actually
crafteamos.
what caves do when they're in love. Those
Oh, I see. Yes, they're in a committed relationship. Yes.
Está bonita.
La
So,
tumba.
you can
Miren
go
qué
to,
cool.
the shrine of Dagoth here, and there actually isn't a research step that you have to wait for this time. You'll build the room.
O sea, hay
you'll
que
have
hacer
instant
tenemos que
access to
hacer la sala en el
recipes
dojo,
for
no más
blueprints,
salga para ir a
using the
farmear los
resource
recursos y
from
canjearlos
the
aquí.
syndicate
Esto es una sala del dojo.
Research.
there's no research wait for this particular room.
No hay tiempo de
However,
espera para la
there
investigación del
is
dojo.
a spooky story. So when this launches, you can listen to the shrine to see what grandmother from Deimos might have to say about Dagoth.
Ok, y acá va a salir la historia de Dagat que la cuenta abuela.
Important thing.
Yeah,
The
the
Daemons.
canon pronunciation.
Yeah.
I see.
Wow,
The room is
por
really
Doctors.
cool too.
Los que no
It's so
tengan
detailed and
clan
interesting.
Yeah,
y
the
sean de
art team
PC,
killed
nosotros
it.
tenemos
The idea was
clan.
we wanted this very
Y no más salga,
spooky
hacemos la sala.
room
Entonces, si
where,
quieren, pues
Dagoth
les podemos
had
mandar la
perhaps
invitación.
been laid to rest, and
Mira las
they nailed
máscaras,
it.
qué
And when
cool.
you hear the story, it's probably one of the darker stories we've ever told in Warframe. So
Dicen
And
que
you
es
light
una
a
historia
candle
medio
for every
spooky, así
design idea I
oscura.
had that Pablo changes in a quality of life update.
One,
Is
two,
that how the
three.
candle lighting works?
Yo me les uno. Bueno,
Sorry,
entonces,
I'm
cuando tú me
spoiling.
dices, yo te mando sin problema.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Voy a hablar con mi líder de clan, tenemos
Keep
que
lighting
lanzar
them.
la raid de farmeo para sacar eso.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so this
Really
room
Y si
cool.
quieren de
is
play, bueno,
Verified.
también, miren, ahí
great
Mister
vibe.
también, Mister tiene
Sound-
clancito de
oh,
play.
yes. The smiling, perhaps that was once her face.
Ooh.
But where's her brain?
Oh, oh.
Aw. Yes,
Está
this is
muy
all coming,
cool.
so get some space in your dojo for the room. The resources will be acquired through
Tenemos
the
espacio, ¿no? En el
syndicate
dojo para
which
ponerla,
the
creo que
syndicate
sí.
will offer you, and away you go.
Away you go.
Awesome.
Away we shall
Awesome.
go.
Really cool.
Yeah.
All right, and a few other
¿Qué día saldrá?
things coming in Abyss of Dagoth that are not quality of life related. Void Shell skins.
Octubre 18.
Team has been working hard on getting those Void
Octubre
Shell skins out,
18.
and we have 3
18.
coming with the Abyss of Dagoth. update.
Coño, octubre 18. Qué mala puntería.
We do.
A ver qué tengo
We'll
justo.
go back to Nidus here, shall we? We have a Nidus Void Shell skin coming.
Unidos Void Shell.
Lovely. He's looking much more tech.
Couple boils.
Oh
Nice,
god.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yo la verdad no le he parado mucho esas cosas del Void Shell porque no me gustan
Yeah.
mucho, no lo
Play
sé.
with some color.
Las de Boruna son muy bonitas.
I'm not choosing.
O es como
Wait,
Yareli,
that's-
más oscura que la de Harrow, no
Oh,
creo.
that's
Y sí,
cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
yo haría para
Looking
Estoy
cool,
en uno.
Joker.
3 semanas.
Looking cool, Joker. Also, we
A ver.
have Mirage is going to be getting one. Not this. Don't
Oh,
look.
God.
Don't look.
Oh,
Don't look,
it's
don't
fine.
look.
It's
Oh,
fine.
wrong
It's fine.
spot, wrong spot.
My queen.
She'll be getting very disco techy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Discoteca.
No me gusta.
Very nice. Triangle strong
My eyes
shape.
are up here, yeah.
It's just where my mouse was.
Okay, never mind.
And then we also have Reb's favorite, Protea, will be getting a void shell. There she is.
Oh my god, she's so
Este,
beautiful.
Very.
Hit random. I
Not
want to see
bad.
what happens.
Let's go.
Do you really though?
Yes.
Ooh.
Wow.
I don't know, but
pero los colores. Bueno, bueno.
Oh.
Ok, dependiendo de los colores, ¿se ve bien o no?
Excellent.
Excellent.
No, pero el problema es que la Deluxe le gana.
3 void shell skins are coming.
You like this
in
one because
this
it's Christmassy.
Yeah.
totally.
Look at her. She made Santa. It's a beard.
It's Christmassy for sure.
Santa Claus.
You said that, not me.
Santa Claus.
So 3
18 de
void shell
octubre,
skins
solo voy a
coming
tener 2
with,
días para sacarlo. Me pido a Japón. ¡Oh! ¡Qué
Let's do a
nice!
little
Ay,
bit of a
disfruta
recap of
mucho.
what we all just talked
Qué
about.
envidia,
Game
quiero ir a
that
Japón.
slide.
Oh,
my queen.
Get rid of us.
All right.
We're ghouls.
To sum up a bit,
Dagat.
Abyss of Dagoth update
Warframe
34,
54,
obviously our 54th
Darkblade,
Warframe
Blade
Dagoth
and
is
Whip.
coming.
Bueno, viene con su arma.
Blade and whip, her signature, door clave.
You got it.
Alternate helmet, looking like a unicorn. We got those Kate cosmetics that you saw.
Bueno, tiene los dos
We got
cascos que
the
ya
Dagoth Hall Dojo
mostraron,
room that
cosméticos
you're
para
gonna
el Kate.
create to craft her. We got Void
Holo,
Shell skins,
el salón de dojo que
Mirage,
vimos ahorita,
Unitas.
que lo vamos a
We got Light
construir
of
lo más
Navras
salga.
coming back. We got lots
Void
of
Shield
Dead
Skins, que es la que
stuff.
mostraron ahorita de Protea
Anna that you saw,
Mirage.
Sentinel accessories.
Knight of
The Navras
Naverus.
Lotus
¿Cuál era
skin
esa?
that you saw as well. And then we're gonna
La de
get into the
las-
two last things, which is the big quality of life and
El
relics,
evento
as well
de-
as
¿El de las calabazas ese?
That's- Yay!
El de Deimos.
Should we do a platinum prize? I kind of
Yeah,
blacked out about
we
that.
we
yeah.
can do any.
Sorry,
No
Dan.
me
do a
gusta nada ese
couple.
skin de
Appreciate
Protea.
it.
Está mejor el traje de plumas
alright, so
o la rollo tecnológica.
Let's preface
El evento
this
de
a little bit.
Halloween.
There
What?
is
Grendel
a
viene el
lot
mismo
of
día que
quality of
Dagat.
life
Es que
coming
Grendel
in
es el
this
próximo
update.
Prime,
Maybe the
entonces
most
sí,
we've
si
ever
sale en la
had.
actualización,
Is
So
that an
cool.
accurate
So
supongo que
cool.
sí.
Confirmed, most
Quiero
we've ever
pensar que
had.
sí.
We obviously talked about it on 10.0 Live. We went through our little slides beat by beat, and we said we'd deep dive into it, and we are going to dive deep.
¿Quién es
my
Protea?
friends.
Es un Warframe.
Telegon, I did the 2-minute version, this is the 2-hour version.
Yeah.
No me gusta cuando sacan contenido
What
junto
else
con el
was on
Prime.
to
¿Por
you?
qué,
Can you read
mister? Porque hay mucho que hacer.
Uranos
Auranos
underscore.
_XI.
You're
All
on
right,
a
you did
sweet.
it. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now. In-game alias, platform play.
Bueno,
Warframe on, and we'll get your 1,000
lo
bucks.
siento, Dagat, pero necesito ese Grendel. Supongo que por eso lo dice.
What do you mean?
Aunos.
It could have been.
Make sure to emphasize the oaths.
Porque me concentro en una sola cosa y dejo la otra. Sí, bueno,
Alright.
hay que
It is now
meterle
time for the
horitas
quality of life section
que no
of
tengo
this update.
ahorita.
Strap in, strap on. First of all, one of the most important.
Ay, dijeron que iban a hablar en el devstream del cambio al sistema melee. Si no lo hacen, me voy a emputar.
One of the big
Strap on.
things, quality of life wise per se,
Es un
is
kilómetro para crear
deferred
contenido. A mí se me acumulan las cosas y ahorita no tengo tiempo, nada de tiempo
I
con la
don't know if it's the
universidad.
date yet, but in October, the consoles that we support, our beloved console folks, are actually all going to be bumped to deferred only renderers, which means the classic renderer will no longer be a thing on consoles. So
right.
Nintendo Switch, all our Xbox and PlayStation SKUs are all going to be supporting deferred. This is obviously hugely important, especially with our.
¿Qué se refiere eso al renderizado clásico?
GI lighting only works in deferred. So
motor.
this is when the Switch is going to be made. The Goth update is going to be a renderer unification for.
Ok, el rendering del juego de todas las
Yes.
consolas a partir de
Are
esta
you asking me to
actualización
comment on that?
va a pasar a ser el mismo que el de PC. Y el render clásico, que es lo que están diciendo, se va a eliminar.
Va a desaparecer.
Porque ahora todos vamos a tener el mismo rendering.
Is using the enhanced render, and it's also using a new lighting system that does not work
Yep.
in the old stuff, and so.
Porque la iluminación del
and
sistema
it's gonna
anterior no
be rolled out on Switch as
funciona,
well. I
no
just
funciona.
I saw a Switch
En
RFQ,
algunas
but
cosas,
no, it's
bueno.
going to be rolling out there as well. And the great thing, I think, for our artists, there's a lot of cool features that they can use, and they have been using since Angels of Zeraman, that Classic can't see. There's a very,
Decals.
very amazing decal system.
Bueno, los de
decal
consola van a
system,
tener un upgrade
that they
visual,
can't use in
chicos.
Classic, so, as well as that
Pobres
new,
consolas.
GI
Sí,
lighting
es que
system.
imagínate, el otro día, yo no
This is
sé,
kind of important
el
for
otro día
us.
estaba
I apologize for any
jugando
pain.
con Ikari
Obviously, like I always
en
say
su
in the old
Switch.
days, if we mess it
Y
up,
la
we make
animación
it
de
right,
carga,
but,
me salió una
it's
animación de carga que yo
important
nunca
stuff.
había
It's gonna
visto.
literally cut in half
Una
the
que está
amount
como
of
al contrario, que la
Sí,
de
sí, que se ve
genial.
el planeta. Es muy bonita, es más bonita.
So that's gonna be really good
Eso se
for-
agradece,
esa
sí.
esa vez sale en
for the
PC, pero es
games,
rara.
let the
Silvi,
artists focus
en
more
los
on
2 años que tengo jugando
stuff.
Warframe
There's even stuff
aproximadamente,
in,
nunca me ha
Duviri,
salido esa animación.
how rocks blended
A mí
in
me ha salido
terrain,
solo
we
2
don't see
veces,
that stuff
pero
in
es bonita
Classic,
esa
so
animación.
Es muy
really
bonita, es que es
important
mejor
for us
que
to
la
get
que nos
into this
sale
kind of one
siempre.
unified rendering
Porque la que nos
framework
sale
for
siempre son
platforms.
simplemente
And
las
just, we
naves
don't
como
have a
que en
date
esta
yet, but that doesn't mean
dirección.
PC Classic will also eventually be retired.
That's right.
It's not happening in this update, but it'll probably be pretty soon. We'll have to see.
It has to be before the next.
Yeah, it
There's
has
no
to be
choice.
before Whispers in the Wild. It's going to be
We
soon.
don't have a choice because Whispers and Walls is built completely on this new stuff.
Yeah.
And this is kind of, if you're technically minded, it's kind of like bye-bye light maps.
Light
in
maps.
that particular tile set, and then eventually rolling out to the larger game. And what I think, if you look at the TunnelCon demo, at least through my eyes, you see that the characters and the environment and the moving objects all just are completely consistently lit from the same data.
Ok.
You have this stuff like
Básicamente todas estas actualizaciones que van a hacer desde el punto de vista visual para la gente de consola, que van a unificar todo, por decirlo así, no sé si decir el motor, pero todos vamos a tener el mismo tipo de renderizado, porque a partir de ahora, no esta actualización, pero la actualización siguiente, dicen que van a tener que eliminar ciertas cosas que tiene la gente de consola en cuanto a renderización, porque para las nuevas actualizaciones y el contenido que se viene no sirve, y falta como que power para que se vea bien y se admiren bien todo lo que es el tema del ambiente en los nuevos tilesets.
All this stuff, Brendel Prime, we're going to get into it. And the first bit of quality of life we shall tackle is
Companions.
Companion rework.
¡Gatitos!
Companion reworks.
Nuevos gatitos.
Very well. We have a lovely slide, or your internet.
That's what people name their
First
pets.
round of changes. Esperen, me muevo.
It's good times.
Es round of change. Parte 2 de
This is going to be our
las
first
habilidades del
round
Esmita.
of companion rework changes. We are going to do a part 2 that will look at
First round
abilities.
changes, part
Smita
2.
will be part 2.
Yeah, basically
Sir, por favor, dígame que van a volver a bufar a la Esmita. Ya no se pueden morir las mascotas. Bien. New interactive mods that offer ways to play. Ok, van a poner nuevos mods que supongo que van a mejorar la jugabilidad con las mascotas.
With them in particular, they became kind of useless on Steel Path because they would just die in the first minute.
Exacto, dice que con esto, bueno, estaba diciendo que las mascotas son inútiles en camino a cero.
For the companions that you could, it was really, it left a really bad flavor of mouth to just have like the dog for someone else be dying all the time.
Van a dejar de morir, no vamos a volver a ver el mensaje de cada vez que se muera mi pet. Aquí el problema no son los Cabats, sino los curos. Los curos son completamente inútiles, tienes razón.
They don't die anymore, they just go incapacitated, which basically means they're disabled for a certain period of time. So
ok, mueren, pero tienen un periodo de incapacidad y después regresan.
But if they do, then they're just incapacitated, and after a little bit, they come back.
Ok, sí, sí mueren, pero regresan. No quedan off como hasta ahora. Ay, las actualizaciones no se me... las notificaciones no me funcan. Bueno, gracias por el follow, bienvenido al escuadrón, besito. No sé por qué no me está actualizando el Streamlabs bien hoy.
Son esos mods.
A ver, Duplex Bond, Companion, will clone itself each time you spend... La primera, el compañero se duplica, se clona cada vez que usa 100 de energía. El clon vive 30 segundos y las kills que haga tiene 50% de dropear orbes de energía. Coño la madre.
El otro era con los sobreescudos.
Será como el Panzer, exactamente. A ver, se me están escapando mensajes. Espera, ¿van a dejar eso morir? Ahora usar el Esmita. Gracias por el follow. Bienvenido al escuadrón, besito. Escriban en el chat para poder leer sus nombres. Como el Vulpafila Panzer, ¿no? Será como el Panzer, exactamente. O sea, tiene la misma habilidad del Panzer. Yes.
Van a bufarlos.
Ah, mira. Sin mods. Max mods.
Mods, it increased by 71%, the EHP itself, but even with max mod is 72%. Again, it really depends on which of the pets. We have way too many, but just to give you like an example of the sorts of things that happened with increasing the armor, increasing the shields. Later on, we'll talk about other changes to shields that also affect this. But yeah, those are basically the first things that we kind of address. So they no longer die, they just go incapacitated. They now have much more EHP. There's a bunch of utility mods related to them being incapacitated and also adding some
hay mods de utilidad que les puedes poner que van a ser nuevos, que se activan cuando se incapacitan. Hay que ver que...
Lo nerfearon.
¿Qué nerfearon?
El charm.
Anyways, we're going to do that. We definitely want to do that part. We know that even once they don't die, we know they're still really uneven. So we will revise that next year. But first we need them to not die to kind of see where things settle, and then we'll work on that.
Ok, vamos a ver cómo funciona. Ay, chicos, no leo. De Omega Kun, gracias por el follow, bienvenido al escuadrón, besito.
Oh, the duplex.
Yeah, the
Oh,
duplex
sorry.
bomb.
Ok, Teenage Blood, headshot kills, reduce company recovery time. Ok, los headshots hacen que el tiempo de recuperación en el que se revive el compañero se reduzca en 3 segundos. ¿Cuánto será el tiempo? No lo han dicho, ¿no?
But it's only 2.
Ahora sí a vender caras otra vez las improntas Lotus Omega Ulki. Uy, ¿te imaginas? Yo no tengo eso todavía.
We have basically 5 buckets of quality of life stuff that we've put together. Companion rework, Hydroid rework, we'll get into the rest. And as we're talking about them, they're going to go live in the forums. So if we've reached the end of our companion section.
Just a couple of mini
Very
notes.
well.
Basically, there's some updates to how the pets appear in the HUD, just kind of to keep you more informed of what's going on with them.
Ok, van a cambiar el HUD de las
A few other
mascotas.
mods
¿Lo van a mejorar
besides the
para
new
tener más
mods.
información
We
de las
also touched
mascotas?
up a few of the older mods that we just kind of had
Yeah,
to along
we
the way.
have gone through comprehensively things like spare parts, you know, prime regen, all those things. The dev workshop that Megan referred to, that should be live any minute now, we'll have it all in there.
Yes.
So if you want our overview, we just gave it to you. If you want to read the nitty gritty, it is all there for you.
Okay.
Every mod's interpretation.
Ahorita van a poner, si quieren lo podemos ver después del devstream con calma, en el foro van a poner las descripciones de los mods. Si quieren podemos revisarlos juntitos. Después checo ahí en el foro a ver qué.
When they're incapacitated.
While they're incapacitated, I'm not sure. So I imagine it disables because we disable a few other things, but I'd have to verify.
Ok, van a desactivar, quitar cosas del... Supongo que van a quitar mods que van a quedar
Chat over here.
nulos con el cambio de las mascotas, no sé. Tenemos que ver a ver qué pasa. Pero por los comentarios que están haciendo, creo que van a venir bastante, o sea, van a estar bastante rotos cuando pongan esta actualización los companions.
I am wearing pants.
Miren, ya tenemos para sacar Dagat. El tema del... O sea, hay que hacer la sala en el dojo. Dagat, Grendel, la...
Just make it
Masseter, ¿cómo es que se llama el arma de Grendel? La Prime. El Grendel, la Masseter. Todos los mods nuevos de Companion hay que sacarlos. O sea, va a haber mucho contenido por hacer.
I thought you were being so serious.
Mucho.
Pablo's dying from listening to Rebecca laugh. Oh, God.
Basically, I'm like contagious laughter.
We might have to revive them.
Oh my god. All right, are we ready for Hydroid rework, everybody?
Yes.
Ok, ahora vamos a hablar del rework del Hydroid. Me encanta el dibujo del Hydroid de
Takes their pants off.
That's right.
Pablo started the trend.
Oh my god.
Take your pants off for the Hydroid rework, because
Alright.
things are about to get tentacly.
No.
Ay, no. Dijo, quítense los pantalones, gente, que se van a poner las cosas
Coming back.
Tentáculos.
tentaculosas. Kinky.
So we have a lovely
Hentai.
slide, just kind of going over very briefly.
Ok,
what
no
it is.
pasiva.
Obviously, we're going to do live Hydroid rework gameplay. I don't know if we want to just
El
go
impacto
in and
corrosivo.
talk about it as we play. Do we want to just kind of...
Changing impact damage to
Yeah, I guess we can
corrosive.
play and I can just.
Ok, van a cambiar el impacto por
A lot of what
corrosivo.
you're gonna see,
Puta
you know,
madre.
so I'm just basically gonna kind of tell you what changed.
Van a
so
hacer
the
gameplay.
passive
Está
used
bien.
to be, you did the slam dunk into the ground and then a tentacle came out. It wasn't very useful because generally if you pinpointed a hit directly with the slam, you probably killed the unit or you knocked it away. So it wasn't exactly a very beloved
Esa skin es
passive.
nueva.
So
Supongo
we
que con el
changed it and
rework
we
le
went
van a
for the
cambiar
theme
también
of the
o le irán a agregar una
corrosive
apariencia.
waters of
Briny.
No han dicho nada todavía de eso.
That's
Where
it,
the
that's it.
ships will rust.
Captain Ahab over here. Wow.
So basically, he now enhances corrosive. So basically, whenever he damages an enemy by any means, they are now more vulnerable to corrosive.
Ahora
in
cuando
general. So the
Hydroid
first
hace
stat
daño,
that gets applied to him
reduce la resistencia al
removes
corrosivo.
50% armor instead of the usual 24. What that means is that if you get corrosive all the way up to 10 stacks, you now strip armor entirely.
Oye.
And he has many means to apply corrosive, so
O sea que cuando
you'll
tenga,
see
ya
soon
va.
that he can really deliver those stacks.
Cuando tenga
So,
los 10
his
stacks,
one
quita por completo la armadura.
one is,
Sí.
it used to be impact damage, which didn't love.
Se
now it's
creo que
corrosive, and
Hydroid
now
regresa,
it's actually,
señores.
Oh, you can see the little icon on top of their heads. That basically means that they're vulnerable to corrosive, and any corrosive stacks will basically, they don't have to be from you, they can be from anything, can be from your weapons.
Ok, los stacks de corrosivo que tengan los enemigos no tienen que venir solo de Hydroid. Cuando lleguen la cantidad de stacks, abajo, tipo, chao escudo.
Los enemigos que están marcados se vuelven más propensos al
corrosivo.
Entonces ya les rompe por total la armadura. Ese bicho va a estar bueno para farmear entonces.
Ay, ya quiero.
But now it's they kind of stay in the same range. These guys are a little too weak to really show.
I'm just a strong girl.
There's that too. Yeah, so I think
Tengo mi Hydroid ahí solito sin levear. Creo que voy a tener que levearlo y usarlo de una buena vez.
The charge is gone. The values for normal cast are essentially the same as what used to be the max charge. So you basically get that now from the get-go. Then from his 2, you can see the little water thing.
The water thing?
Yeah, the little water wave.
Yeah.
Tidal, no, tidal.
Esa es la 2, esa es la olita.
Yeah, for tidal search, we basically changed it so it kind of grabs enemies better. Before it just kind of knocked them around. Again, kind of like the 1, it just spread enemies around, which generally is not what you want. So now it kind of gathers them with you and takes them on a ride.
Ok.
These guys might be a little too weak for you to
Es más control, entonces. La ola ahora no los va a empujar, sino que los va a direccionar. Entonces cuando acabe la ola van a estar todos los que hayas agarrado en el camino con la ola al final contigo. Y mientras los agarra, o sea, si los agarra les mete corrosivo. Es momento de quitarle la telaraña al Hydroid. Yes, toca comprarlo. No, aquí nadie compra nada, aquí se farmea.
We did a few things with the timing of it. Essentially, before, the speed of the wave changed based on duration. We removed that, but we increased the base speed.
La velocidad del 4 de la ola, dijo.
La velocidad del 3 antes era basada en la duración. Ahora se la quitaron.
Ahora es una velocidad constante.
And also now the status clear that used to be in the augment, the one for you is now by default. The augment now only does the status clear for others. Which
Ok, ahora, ajá. El 3 ahora elimina estados para ti. El aumento que él tenía, que hacía, supongo, es que nunca jugué a Hydroid, por lo que entendí, el aumento que él tenía quitaba los estados para ti y para los demás. Ahora, por default con la 3, nos quitamos estados con el Hydroid y con el aumento le quitamos el estado a los demás.
I will be a puddle lover till the day I die. Bury me in that puddle. I'm so sad.
So Undertow.
Undertow is gone.
Rip Undertow.
Vale, me han dicho que voy a vender los Hydroid Prime bien caritos.
So, I mean, just to kind of give you like a brief, I think everyone knows why it went. Essentially,
I don't.
Being a stationary.
Oh, mira, ahí dice 1440 de armadura, 360% de daño corrosivo.
Essentially, you have to be in like a place.
Ambushed by puddle?
We did
Oh,
try changing the puddle
Lilian.
to a castable
Bueno,
thing
está
where
bien, que
you
te ayuden en
went
el
up the
trabajito,
puddle.
besito.
But then the problem is enemies would not walk into the puddle. So you needed to then get a second tool to drag enemies into the puddle, and it just got really messy. In general, we also don't love enemy denial, which is basically hiding enemies from other players, because it just makes the game more boring for them. So yeah, in general, like the puddle just was not working, so we changed it.
Can we get an F in chat for puddle?
I don't see any Fs, but you know. I did see someone say it wasn't stationary. That is true. You could move at like 1 meter per second. That is my bad.
If anyone's going to get you on a technicality, it's Twitch chat.
Yeah,
So
There we go.
speak with
We're getting a lot of Fs in
Quitaron
chat.
la divertida de Hydroid.
so the new ability basically
Puddle,
Charco.
Ajá, es charco.
El charco era buenísimo para hacer las misiones de espionaje
and
en Lua.
basically steal it for yourself. This scales based on how many enemies there are and also
agüita,
how many
toma agüita.
corrosive stats they have. So if you're spraying corrosive all over the place,
Se ve que consume energía como un champion. Bueno, buildear bien.
Thunder. And then, okay, so look at the icon. You can see that Megan set up a group of enemies there. She hit them with some corrosive stacks with her Tempest Barrage, and then boom.
¿Qué habilidad daba Hydroid para Helmito? No recuerdo. El 1.
yeah, so right now, I mean, I think she did it on just a few enemies,
¿Qué
but
hace
she
el
has
4?
518 armor. You can see there on the upper right, on the lower right, sorry, and 130% corrosive damage added to all your attacks. So you get both of those. You get like a half offensive, half defensive. depending on how many enemies you target, and you know and it scales
Yo
again
no la
from
caché, no
any
sé si Silvia
corrosive
la habrá
stats,
cachado. ¿Ya
which you
hablaron
can apply with the one, you can apply with
del
the
4?
two, and
No,
you
están
can
hablando del
four.
3.
We look at-
El 3 es como,
actually, there's
como
a bunch
un...
of enemies
Shall
around
we
here.
tentacle?
Yeah,
Como
so,
que, como podría yo
yeah.
compararlo.
so the tentacle, one of the weird things about it
está
is
la
it
ulti.
used to do magnetic damage, which I found strange. So now it's corrosive, just to
Mete
go clean
corrosivo.
with,
Ok, ahora
with everything
los
else.
tentáculos meten no
And
magnético,
instead
sino
of
corrosivo.
flapping the enemies around, which I know a lot of people really dislike because similar to what I mentioned for 1 and 2, it just makes it harder for you to shoot them. Now it just kind of holds them in very awkward positions. As you can
Ok,
see,
ya no los va a mover tipo así, sino que se quedan quietos en un sitio, en una posición.
so now
Cuestionable.
it holds them. It's applying the corrosive still.
It looks cool.
There's been some reanimation to the, like they reanimations.
The new stuff looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to change a lot of things there to kind of make this working the way we want. It
Sí,
used to
técnicamente
scale,
los
and
empala
there's
en
a
un
whole bunch of-
tentáculo. Kinky.
This one had a lot of technical stuff to get sorted, but it basically means that now it really holds enemies in place. Also, if there's available tentacles and enemies enter the zone, the tentacle will kind of go out and grab them so that you can kind of
Ok, si hay algún tentáculo que esté libre y pasa algún enemigo cerca, lo agarra.
You just can grab them over time now. And as you see,
Me
it's
gustó el
applying,
3.
it's applying corrosive and it's doing the maximum damage because again it doesn't have the charge anymore, so you don't have to hold and charge to get it going.
Tentacle swarm is no longer held, so all that has been removed.
Yeah, I think the one thing I forgot to mention on the one is that the old Dogman used to give corrosive. Now obviously it gives corrosive by default, so the new one gives viral, which obviously
Viral.
you combine
El
both
1 ahora
things,
también
it is
da
quite,
corrosivo y viral.
it's quite crazy, but it works.
Yar.
Me gustó fue el 3. El 3 le da
And for
daño
the
corrosivo.
three heals, which
To-
used to
creo que
heal
todas dan
by
corrosivo.
people standing
El
on
2
the
no-
power, which
No,
dead.
el 3 da daño corrosivo
Now it,
a las
since
armas
it's when you
también.
cast the ability,
Ah,
it heals you
verga.
and it heals your allies in affinity range.
Vale, volverán a subir a la clasificación del juego a más 18, por eso no lo sé.
Hydroid. Rework.
There it is. There
Dev
you have it.
Workshop's now live.
Exclamation point.
Yep.
Hydroid in
Yep.
Twitch chat if you would like.
Va a
a link
correr,
to
los va a
the
correr por
Hydroid
dentro.
rework. There is more in depth. We got gifts. We got more information about augments. All that nitty
Title
gritty stuff
search,
in the Dev Workshop.
Undertow
could just
replaced
redo
with
the
plunder,
blind
applies
trailer for
corrosive and
Hydroid,
strips
so that it
armor.
doesn't start with a
That's
puddle.
mean.
Oh.
Verga, lo de la armadura
We're gonna need to read.
I don't think we put puddle in.
para
The
far...
beginning is they're, like,
Es que
floating
va a
in
estar
this
bueno.
puddle state.
Right.
Nah, I'm afraid it's
Redo,
Maybe
redo,
they just
redo.
Porque de paso casi todo mete, tipo, todo mete corrosivo. Entonces, como...
I was out of it.
Wasn't that the one that you made like a fake version of it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Joe one. That's right.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
narrated
didn't
it.
Stallard write the VO for it?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good times, good times.
I still got trolled at TennoCon about the Hydro.
Like people came up to you and were like, "Oh, Hydroid."
Que fijaron Bring Out the Tentacles, Tenno. Hoy,
1,000 platinum?
Hydroid's getting
Give
a
some blood
rework.
away. Let's
Yep.
check in. It's currently 2 minutes after 3.
We're going a bit longer.
Yeah, I think we only have about 30 minutes left. I think we can
Cool.
do it. I think we can do it.
Hi,
As we have
Missing
one of the-
Invoker, welcome, Oli.
Our
There's only,
1,000
like, 20
platinum.
more things in my list.
Going to a lucky viewer by the name of, I can't read that.
Boses Edwas.
Boses _Etwas.
Boses Congratulations, you've won.
Yeah, that was the other one. Make us sweat.
Congratulations, you've won 1,000 platinum. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now. With your
Yo
88
quiero 1000
likes, pop
platinos,
one
chicos,
for
¿cómo le
Warframe, and give you
hacemos?
1,000 platinum.
Quería los
Congratulations.
100.000 que habían
All
dado.
right,
¿Te
we're now going
imaginas?
to move on to the new player experience changes. QOL. Hit that slide, Danny.
New player
All right.
experience.
Hit it from the top,
I think
Reb.
this one we'll just go through pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Just
Removal
under
of flood
the-
mods.
generally
Ah,
the
y van a
philosophy of
quitar
this is
Emico and
there are
weapons
some
from
rough
Board's
edges
price.
around that new player experience.
Nope.
No, there's none.
Esos son los mods que están como
This is
rotitos.
basically a treatment pass on some things that we
Rad,
felt we could
enemigo
resolve
universal.
fairly
Early
quickly in the
gaming
QOL
box
update. We wanted to make sure
and
that we
junction
really
adjustments.
were comprehensive with this QOL update. Therefore, we got
Universal
some things for
enemy
y'all.
radar,
For the
quest,
first up new players,
improvements,
flawed
Wave
mods
Rider.
are just no longer a part of
Wave
progression.
Rider, esa es la que no quiero hacer porque me da hueva, ¿verdad?
No.
What?
Finally, entendieron que la gente odia hacer esa misión.
That has caused a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
So
But let-
MK1 weapons are not
Box
removed.
Solaris,
No,
Nata,
just-
etc.
Well, no,
Ok, van a
I think
mejorar
we're
algunas
removed from
misiones.
Boar's prize as a weapon you pick, they're still in the market for credits.
They'll still be in your inventory.
Ay, no, van a quitar la adquisición de Necramech.
¿Cómo? Cetus Whips and Necramech. Cetus Whips.
They're just when a player
And Necramech acquisition
when they're picking their weapons and
changes.
lotus is like pick your secondary, pick your melee. There's no
Is that
such
how she sounds?
kind of a little.
Maybe you should recast
Valley
all the
Girl
rest of
Lotus
this
coming
quality of
back.
life changes.
Oh my God! We have our own boo squad here.
A ver.
In short, the weapons a player chooses will be the bow and the Bratton. No longer Mark 1. They will still be in the market for credits, and you will still have yours. No problem. Flawed mods, however, will be removed and exchanged for
The real ones.
the real ones with some rank adjustments at the lower levels so players can actually use them early on. The only flawed mod that's not going away is the April Fool's ammo drum.
Ok.
You got that
Se
one.
van los rotos, si tienen todavía, los van a cambiar por los normales.
Early game inbox and junction adjustments, this is just a matter of the grind to progress. Some of our junction tasks were, pick up 20 mods.
Salían armas
just
MK1
some
en
things
board,
that
eso
felt
es
a
mala
little,
leche. Que
like, if you've done it
probablemente
once, you know
reduzcan
how
los
to do it,
requisitos
so
para
don't do
pillar a
it 20
Wisp, las
times.
cosas de
So
Cetus y los
we've
Necramech.
gotten
Vamos a
rid
ver.
of some of the quota junction tasks, let's say, where you have to do 20 of the same thing, and replaced it entirely with a quest-based one. So we want you to play Saya's Vigil before you progress, so you can meet the Ostrons and meet the open world. So we've taken off the sort of to-do lists, and now there is a quest junction task there. Some
Ok.
other management has occurred.
Van a cambiar los requisitos para las junctions, que son las cositas, las misiones que tenías que hacer para ir de un planeta a otro al inicio. Básicamente es un cambio para los nuevos. En vez de tener el to-do list que había hasta ahora, va a haber una misión que tienes que hacer para poder acceder a la misión de la junction. ¿Hasta cuándo duran los 7 pecados de Dubiri? ¿Cómo así?
Boss, you tell us what we have to do.
Chicos, compren las armas MK1 y saquen la maestría. No las van a quitar, las MK1 van a seguir en el mercado, no las van a eliminar. Las van a quitar como el arma que pueden elegir los nuevos. Es lo que va a pasar.
La presa de Bor.
No es nada.
Aunque antes habían dicho que las querían eliminar.
Sí, pero no, o sea, ahorita no dijeron que las vayan a eliminar ya, todavía.
Yeah, essentially the game plays better when you can tell where enemies are. So we didn't really want to keep gating that behind what right now is mostly animal instinct, which takes a while for a new player to get to. So we just felt like it was important to have kind of this by default, and then you can make it even larger if you want with animal instinct or whatever.
Ok, ahora tenemos un radar para ver dónde están los enemigos. Tiene un cierto rango y se puede ampliar con instinto animal. No sé si el mod se traduce así igual en español.
Challenges to 15. Most of the challenges are actually combat or different input based. We're not going to make you do a ton of tricks. If you cut to Meg's
Ay,
screen,
sí.
Danny, you can kind of see.
Finally, van a quitar esta misión. Bueno, van a quitar el pedo de esta misión de los trucos y la vaina, que es la razón por la cual no la he hecho. Kill fire enemies while riding. Ok, va a ser mucho más fácil, eso me parece excelente.
Oh, that one's actually not.
It's not in?
That one's going to come later.
Okay, I'm a
But we do
liar.
have a couple for Natal.
Don't
We're
listen.
reducing the mastery rank requirement.
Ok, spoileo algo por lo que
That one's
entiendo.
going to come later. We are doing that one. It's just going to come in the subsequent Whispers update.
And Vox Solaris has simply been rebalanced, but maybe not, because sounds like
No, it has.
It has.
Yeah.
Okay.
The overall difficulty.
Volví a jugar después de mucho tiempo y no sé si tiene algo interesante como para jugarlo. El Warframe, pues le han metido bastante contenido. ¿Hace cuánto dejaste de jugar?
And we have some other just miscellaneous ones. It's all going to be in the dev
Dubiri se va a
workshop.
quedar porque es como si fuese un planeta nuevo. Bueno, es como... Técnicamente es como un planeta nuevo. No puedo leer tu nombre. No sé. Gracias por el follow, bienvenida al escuadrón, besito. Mua. Chicos, no leo. Y mi coso de las notificaciones no sé por qué no me está dando sus nombres.
Way to earn a necromech has been heavily reliant on RNG, fighting the mechs, they drop
Jump
the
to
parts,
top.
go. We tried to improve this with our past, where we just inbox.
A buen tiempo lloré toda la semana para sacar a la pescada esa. Es que yo, te lo juro, yo no he sacado a Yareli porque es que me da una ladilla hacer esa misión.
It's basically the pity system. If you get enough matrices that you're like, oh, I haven't got the parts yet, you can turn them in to buy them. So we've essentially added the RNG pity system to necromech acquisition for your void rig.
There you go.
And that is a quick recap. That was fast.
That's
it for that.
That's beautiful. That's it.
Dev Workshops Live.
Exclamation point.
Si no era tan difícil, solo era un poco el cabra con la tablilla. Pero es que me da hueva, me da mucha hueva. Gracias por el follow, bienvenido al escuadrón, besito. Mua.
moving right along. Next up we have accessibility and HUD improvements.
Ok, accesibilidad y mejoras al HUD. Enemies and allied highlighting system. Coño, eso a mí me va a servir porque yo soy pendeja y a veces les disparo a ustedes.
You know, generally, I think the visibility of enemies has always been, especially in a very dense and very fast game that we have.
Conservation improvements, automele. Ay, el automele, gracias Diosito. Ahora podrá sacar las piezas dañadas del Necra con las matrices. Nice.
They match a lot the visual of
dark
the enemy.
Grenier with a dark material,
we have an asset.
dark lighting.
We have an asset. Yeah. So this is what you would see or not see. Can you find the Grenier? I can. Can you find the Grenier?
Maybe he's in a puddle somewhere.
Maybe he's stuck under a puddle.
No
so
se
with
ve.
The new enemy highlighting system, bam! You can see it. And allies. You can see yourself.
No sé si ven, está acá. Tipo, antes estaba aquí. Bueno, ahora podemos hacer esto de que se le vea el colorcito. La verdad está bien ese.
Can you go to my gameplay real quick, Danny?
Oh, so you can highlight yourself.
Yeah, this is really meant for.
Quiero ese rosita. Ese rosita yo lo voy a poder tener, ese tema.
People at TennoCon came up and said, you know, this is one
Lo quiero.
vision impaired, and they were hoping for more in this.
Oh, cool.
Honestly, like, even for me, just
¿Ustedes lo pondrían ese resaltado de los aliados y de los enemigos? Es el tema de ayuda contra el cáncer. Sí, pero es que está precioso las florecitas.
Yeah, I'm my own biggest saboteur.
Cada vez estoy más. Dejé de jugar como a principios de año y he vuelto hace una semana. Cada vez estoy más perdido y eso que hace 5 años empecé a jugarlo. No pasa nada. Nosotros de aquí hemos ido. Porque yo también dejé de jugar un tiempo. Pero ve haciendo. Tipo. Que te faltan hacer misiones. Hiciste ya, por ejemplo. Rompevelos, Dubiri, Sariman.
Yep. This is obviously what you currently see in game now. It's a bit. What are we looking at here? We got some paw prints. They're all
yeah. Los susurros de Cetus no entendí ni madres y está bien que resalten los enemigos. El tema ayuda con. Obvio, yo sí hice gatona, sí.
Eso está bueno.
Coño, está bien. Está cool. Ahora solo en el mapa va a salir, lo van a dividir por el tipo de animal y solo te va a salir el que esté más cerca, no se te va a llenar todo el cosito con todos los animalitos que tienes alrededor.
It's really helpful because you can I can click that for Mink and then I can portal to the teleporter and then it's still in a waypoint. I'm like, oh, I can just go 200 meters over there.
People are saying, didn't you already do this?
Obvio, yo sí hice gatona, yo también. F, a mí me encantaba el charquito de Hydroid. F, no, ya. Chao charquito. Sin charquito. Personalmente no, para eso tengo el minimapa y las armas explosivas. ¡Oh, Liosu! Ay, gracias. Ese es un buen cambio. Sí, la verdad está bastante bien. Ok, aquí es como se veían las pisadas antes. Y que no se ve cuando está en la gramita. Se ve mucho mejor.
And all we had to do was inject the animals with radioactive goo.
Not the goo.
Oli Mirishi.
Radioactive.
Wow.
A couple things we don't have images for. We have visual feedback when you get a roar success, and that's mostly for anyone that's hearing impaired.
A mí personalmente las cacerías me dan un poquito de hueva, así que me da un poco igual, pero a la gente que le gusta cazar supongo que le va a ayudar bastante.
With your scope, you can actually see a little blink for the general direction that animals are in. It doesn't mark them directly, but at least you know which direction to turn to look. So basically you don't have to kind of just guess based on the sound.
Eso está bien.
Ahora
va a salir en el mapa, ¿no? Tipo, por lo menos para seguir la dirección del animal y no tener que guiarse solo con el sonido.
El franco.
Ah, con el franco.
Titila en qué lado, para qué lado viene.
Está bien. Automele me sirve para que no escuchen literalmente esto todo el tiempo.
Man has yearned to harness the power of Warframe's melee. And with all of the amazing animation work that has happened in all our combos, players have been able to spam the melee button to achieve forward combos, neutral combos, any number of things. So Meg, go ahead and spam that E button. Danny, come over to gameplay. Look at her go.
Oh, look at me go.
Look at her go.
Oh, I'm amazing.
Now,
I'm amazing.
what if you just held E?
It's broken.
What if I just held E?
What if you just held?
Oh, let me just take a sip.
So-
Ay, esto me hace feliz como melee player.
Auto melee is as
Gracias.
simple as it's just a feature in the game by default. You can choose to hold or you can choose to sequence steps. It is up to you. If you want to hold,
¿Prefieren
hold. If you don't,
darle como
don't.
enfermos al botón
There's like one or two
o van a usar el
caveats.
auto melee?
Glaives are exempt from this and the wolf sledge because they have the ranged combos.
Extraño el antiguo.
So,
El antiguo
yeah,
me
so
era
you
más chévere.
someone
¿Cómo era?
perhaps only with one work
Tenía
with a gaming
combos.
arm can just
Wow,
hit E. That's it. That's auto melee.
that's it.
Yeah,
And it
as I
comes with 3
mentioned,
stick
I'm
knives.
pretty sure I mentioned this on TennoCon. There is another feature we're adding to kind of like a little extra wrinkle to this. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it polished properly on time, so we're actually
Okay.
going to hold out a melee back, but don't ask me why, but we decided to push it ahead.
Viene otro cambio después de esta actualización que no pudieron terminar para la
So there is a little
actualización
bit more that's
34.
gonna come on the December update, but we'll talk about that when you're close.
Coño la madre. Esto era justamente lo que quería que hablaran, porque él lo iba a spoilear en la TennoCon y lo mandaron a callar. Y dijo que no lo tienen listo, que no lograron pulir esta actualización y no va a salir con la actualización de Dagat, sino que va a salir para después. Porque bueno, no está listo. Pero viene otro cambio al melee aparte de este auto melee.
So that they could play the game.
¿Cómo funcionaría con los discos? No lo sé.
What a world we live in. Auto melee is here. All right, and last but not least, in this quality of life section, we've just updated the new update history screen.
Yes.
Hold on, Danny, don't do it yet. Don't
History
do it yet,
screen.
Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Here we go. All right, when you log into Warframe for the first time, when an update pops, you get a little screen with your Warframe kneeling there with a big old wall of text that we do
Oh,
write
no.
ourselves. So
Está chévere.
appreciate
Please
that.
read it.
Please read it. We do write that, and it is honestly just a wall of text that tries its best to summarize the update in as many less bullet points as it possibly can. But now we've updated the history
Está
screen
chévere,
to
está
really
bien
show
chévere.
you way better at a
Eso sí llama la
glance, give
atención.
you options to really navigate. You can go to the patch notes, you can go to the market, to really just.
Ayuda a ver qué coño
Yeah, I'm
cambió,
a believer
la
that-
verdad.
that generally no one reads.
¿Qué traen de nuevo?
Por
Porque
eso.
uno
I think
casi
just
siempre
showing
entra y
cool
dice,
images
bueno, ¿y
and
qué?
just having,
Y
like,
claro, y es
pictures
que yo, por
there,
ejemplo,
just
desde que
really
regresé, cada vez que salía algo me tenía que meter en el foro a ver,
like,
porque en el
bullet
foro
points,
sabes que siempre
so
ponen
you
la,
can just, like,
la,
look at the things and
Las
just
la
cositas.
explicación de la actualización, sí, sí.
information there for all the different things. Also, this screen actually has history. So that means when you come in 2 years, you can click on it and still see every major update when we released, that we released, and you can see everything that we changed. and
And
stuff.
because
Ah, bueno, y va a quedar como un modo historia, tipo un historial de las actualizaciones para que no importa si llega otra actualización, por ejemplo, alguien que dejó de jugar un año, salieron 2 actualizaciones, no es que eso se va a quitar, sino que quede el historial ahí de las actualizaciones para que cuando tú cliques puedas ver todos los cambios que hicieron en cada actualización que te perdiste. Está bien.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
People can
I'm not
read
mad.
some of
I'm
them.
not mad.
as you can see, we put platinum items on that page, so you can just buy those cosmetics.
Read when you can just
Right
shop.
when you log in.
Who needs to read?
We appreciate it.
We don't get fed if you don't buy them. They haven't let me leave the office since 10
You gotta
o'clock.
pay your.
Can't fix her arm unless
That's
you.
right.
No, I'm kidding. All right, that is the end of the accessibility, quality of life workshop. We're going to move into one of the heftier ones.
Are we going to do the HUD stuff? Are you going to do the HUD icon things?
Oh,
Isn't
did I
that
miss
part-
that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm so sorry. Keep me honest.
There's a really good thing coming in the
I'm
accessibility.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. Buffs and debuffs in the pause menu, Pablo.
Okay, I want us to walk through an Octavia player's life.
Yes.
You're Octavia. You're buffing your allies. You're dancing your heart out.
NHT
You are
llama.
hitting those
Dice
BPMs.
solo
You are
diré que lo
grinding.
mejor de la
You are
presentación de Hydroid
grooving.
fue la
You're
siandana que
swapping
parece
yourself
abrigo
over
de
at you and saying,
corsario.
What the hell are all these icons?
Me sirve eso.
You go back to your ship, you cry,
Por
cry
fin,
some more.
meten eso.
Yeah, so
Me solapó con el mensaje y no escuché.
Great setup. Great setup.
yeah, basically we have a whole bunch of buffs. In fact, we checked. and it's
Estaban
over
bromeando con
900
que
of them.
Octavia tiene muchos bufos,
So,
pero nadie sabe qué hacen.
basically,
I couldn't
Entonces,
believe
como
that
que van a
one.
añadir esas cositas en la pausa que dice qué hace cada bufo.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot of icons that often it's very hard to know what they are, especially if you're just starting the game and you're just seeing like little symbols appear, you don't know what they are. So now you can essentially press escape and they'll stay there, so you can hover and kind of understand what they are.
Ok, ahora podemos darle escape y cuando presionas escape todos los bufos que tienes se permanecen arriba. Entonces podemos clicarlo y sale la explicación de qué es lo que hace cada bufo.
They're working in progress, okay? Helen's got 900 to do. Leave her alone. Let her do her
By
thing.
like 850, it's gonna be like, please stop this.
Yeah.
This buff does nothing, delete it.
More shield, less shield.
Yeah, so it's gonna take us a while to go through all of them. This is so in this update you can expect to see icons and
abrigo no
names,
era
so at
haciendo
least it gives
una
you
skin.
some reference
Ñoche.
of what is it that you're looking
I
at.
hope it's code or name.
Es
Tengo
la
entendido
skin,
que era la
Damatron.
la skin deluxe de Great.
But descriptions we will fill over a longish time.
¿Qué se llama?
There you go.
Se salió hace harto.
Also in accessibility that
Sí,
I missed, so sorry, is, and we talked about this
Mr. había
earlier,
dicho que hace 2
was
años
the
salió.
weapon trait displays and upgrades. So
Rakam.
I'd like to go to my
Aydroid Rakam.
please and thank you. Our example today is the new door clave. Damn it.
¿The new qué? ¿Door?
Door clave.
Door
Every other
clave.
attempt you get it.
Oh
El
my
arma.
god.
Ah.
Obviously, the description exists here, and it has a bit of a passive effect to it. But it would be nice to know this information while I'm in my upgrade screen, while I'm putting my mods on. So what do we have here, Pablo?
Yeah, essentially it's kind of in the same vein.
Rising
Every weapon
Vendetta.
that has
Después
a
de 20
special
muertes o
trait, anything
asistencia,
that
gana
would make it work different, and
Follow
unless you
through?
read the description, you wouldn't
and
know
at
that
least
it's
one
now
warranty.
Penetración.
People
surfaced
don't
here.
read.
People don't read,
For an
exactly.
extra
So
attacks.
now at least
Gana
there's
0,
something
después de
that looks
20 kills o
different here
asistencias,
whenever
gana
you go for a weapon.
0.5
And
de
also the
penetración
descriptions in here
y
will
al
tend to be
menos,
much more detailed,
warranty
like they'll
status
have actual
effect,
numbers
al
and
menos
stuff.
un,
Whereas a lot of
un
the descriptions
estado,
are
supongo que es un
more
estado
vocals.
aleatorio,
Actually, I
¿no?
was surprised that this
Por
one
los
has
siguientes
numbers.
20 ataques.
Most of the times we just put like flavor stuff on those descriptions. So you have to go and check the wiki to understand how they work. So now the information will be here.
Me gusta
so that
eso.
you kind of know what's
Bastante,
going on as
bastante
your
Destiny, la
mod.
verdad.
Oh my god, is
¿Por qué?
Harnan in Arsenal?
Porque pues sale el símbolo, el nombre, ¿qué hace?
Yeah, just you wait.
Just you wait.
Era
Alright,
necesario.
that is the end of our
El
accessibility
abrigo
dev
no.
workshop.
Joder, al
Next
fin me
week's
parecía absurdo no
accessibility,
saber
if
qué eran
you'd
los
like to check
corrosivos.
all that out, nitty-gritty.
Sí, a mí
Alright,
también.
now we move on to what is the
Y siento que
more
así la gente
hefty
aprende,
quality of
¿sabes?
life
Tipo,
version.
aprendes más.
stuff.
Pues,
Are you guys
necesitas
ready?
menos de
Let's
alguien
get a
que te
word
explique
from
toda
our
mierda,
sponsors.
¿sabes?
Okay.
No, we got this. We got
Okay,
this.
okay,
We
okay,
got
okay.
this. We can't.
Okay.
I don't want to go after that.
Major.
All right, we're getting into the hefty one, which is our
Major QOL.
major QL of system changes and general
Focus,
quality of life.
Tailgating,
This
First
is a
and
big
foremost.
list. Yeah. I'll blast through it. I
Night
think I
Wave
can quickly, and then
Change,
you can
Warframe
go
Level Up
on
Stats.
the
Ay,
ones that need
no.
more support.
Warframe
First,
Level Up.
Focus lens convergence and buff. This is really just focus can be grindy. There's a lot of focus schools. If you ever wanted to complete them all, it might take some time.
Focus
Simply
lens
buff the
conversation
rate at which
buff.
Affinity is exchanged for focus across all lenses. Percentage increases, so you're just getting more focus. And additionally, when you
focus.
hit up the convergence orb, it'll actually give you focus itself. So you're playing, you see the convergence orb, it'll be worth 5,000 focus, and I believe it's distributed equally among things that you
No,
know.
it's the same as the tracks. It essentially
right.
gives it to you to whatever school of focus you have selected.
Oh, okay, so it's not the distributed one. Okay. And then, yeah, just lenses give more focus is the end of that
Easy
one.
peasy.
Yeah.
Lentes
The main
da
reason
más
for
foco,
convergence ones, sometimes you
resumen.
find yourself in situations where it appears
Y
and there's no enemies around because you just cleared a wave or whatever, and it can be very frustrating. So now
Ah, y cuando
you get
agarras
a
el
little
cosito
extra
del
just
del
from
foco te da
taking
una
that.
cantidad de, ya de por sí fija del focus.
Speaking of candy, shields.
Shields.
Yes, so this is actually going to be the biggest section, I think, to discuss, and I'll let you do it.
Under the bus.
A ver, cambios
Uh,
en
yeah,
los
so shields
escudos.
basically, shields have always been like less preferred than health and armor. You know, most people don't put in redirection, things like that. And we felt like they needed some love. Right now, you're bizarrely incentivized to have lower shields so that shield gate can activate faster, which really kind of works against kind of what you would expect, that having more shields should make shields stronger. So we're doing several changes. Starting with shield gate will now scale based on how many shields you have. So if
El
you're
shield
around
gating va a escalar
250
dependiendo de cuántos
shields,
escudos
260,
tengas.
something like that, you have the exact same shield gate duration as you have on live right now. Anything above, it grows all the way to 2.5. I think the one in live right now is 1.33. You can get all the way to 2.5 if you have larger shields. So that means that shield gate duration can actually last quite a bit.
Ok,
Not only
la
that,
duración
but
del
right now, the way it works
shield
in
gating
live,
va a
if you
aumentar
have
de
regenerated
1.3 a
1% of
2.5 por lo
your
que...
shields or 99% of your shields, you get the same shield duration, the bottom one. We changed it so now it actually grows linearly. So if you're at 50% shields, you're going to get half the shield gate duration and not just the lower one. So you basically have yeah, it is way better protection now.
Yeah, it would incentivize you to consider investing in shield regen. and
Van a quitar el shield gating.
capacity.
Güey, que no
The other
nerfeen
change that came with
el...
that is right now shields,
Lo bufaron, no lo nerfearon, lo
Están
bufaron.
nerfeando el shield gating. Están impulsando a los jugadores a que
Ah, que jueguen más con escudo, ajá.
Dentro de más escudo, más tiempo de la inmunidad queda el shield gating.
Sometimes shield feel like paper and they just kind of disappear very quickly. So we just want to make them a little more resistant.
Ok, vamos a tener escudos más resistentes, pues lo que quieren es que la gente no simplemente le valga verga que nos rompan el escudo y ya, y jugar con lo demás.
Obviously, for anyone that uses the famous Decaying Dragon key, you can think of yourself, well, if it scales with the size of my shields, that means the Decaying Dragon key no longer works. And that is
como
true.
nerfeo.
Decaying Dragon key strategy is pretty bad now. So what we did is we basically made it into, we did the classic make a change into a feature. So we now have a mod that essentially does what the old Dragon key did.
Ahora hay un mod que hace lo que hacía la llave del dragón.
Es que antes la gente usaba la llave de dragón que le quitaba el escudo. Entonces para pasar pues, el shield gating más rápido. Pero ahora van a quitar esa feature y se la van a poner a un mod.
Soy Dragodín, gracias por el follow, bienvenido al escuadrón, besito.
Es un mod corrupto.
For 1 week, up for free in an alert completely.
Van a dar el mod, este mod que era lo que hacía la llave del dragón, lo van a dar como un regalo de alerta durante una semana.
And I think a big reason for this is the best way to survive in Warframe.
Catalyzing Shields. ¿Es este? No.
Un 20% de escudo, un 20% de capacidad de escudos y un segundo 33 de full shield gate immunity duration.
En otra forma dicha, entre más escudo, mejor inmunidad y más bufo. El mod te da más daño. Buenas, Villan, besito. El mod no da más daño. El mod lo que hace es que el tema del shield gating va a durar un poco más.
Segundo y medio. Segundo 33.
The last thing is any mods that have shield regen now also reduce the delay. So before you still had the same
¿El delay de qué?
So those shield regens
De la recarga de escudos.
feel the impact. Now it does both.
Entonces todos los mods que aumentan la regeneración de escudos reducen el delay de recuperación del
escudo. Casi lo mismo, pero bueno.
We're going to go a little bit out of order on that, but we're going to go to Warframe.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Por qué?
Level up.
Okay, so this one is
Pop quiz.
yeah.
We have a pop quiz for it.
This one is both a gigantic change and a change that you probably won't even notice.
Favorite kind.
It's
Insert
both things
slide
at
one,
once.
Danny.
Slides 1.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
you're good at math, Steve. Tell me.
your rank 30 Excalibur has 300 health. You add a Vitality mod with 440% health. How much health do you have?
This makes my eyes. This makes me.
Porque estoy en clases de matemática con Warframe.
So if you've ever played Warframe, you know that the answer is 740, which is a bit of a weird math. You wouldn't expect that 440% of 300 health would get you there. But the reality is that that percentage applies on the number of the health number that you had at rank 0, which is not a number you see for long, and it's not something that's exposed. So it's very hard to kind of understand the why for anyone that's just starting the game. So what we did is we changed it so that the level up stats now apply directly to the base. So that means any mods that you put on grow the base, that entire stat. Obviously, that means that
Al menos se aprende mejor si lo dicen con algo que te interesa al menos.
So
Sí.
we kind of redid all the numbers, not only to simplify that, but also to raise the floor. What that means is basically when you don't have mods, you're now a little higher on health, but then with the mods, you basically end up kind of the same place. So you can see in that example, you have the old health at 300, now it's 370, the armor grew by 15, and then the shields grew by 70, and essentially a rank 30 Excalibur with no extra mods has 36% more HP.
Creo que esto le sirve más que nada a los nuevitos, pues para la gente que ya tiene sus frames buildeados y todo, ya es como...
You basically only end up 7% higher, And the main reason for that 7% is the change we talked about earlier, where shields now absorb more damage.
Yeah, it's not actually a statistical change in the raw numbers, it's a damage mitigation change. However, to be clear, if we've done our job right here, you probably won't notice anything, except easier.
It'll be clearer.
Yeah, it'll just be clearer.
Yep.
That's the goal. Yeah, so flow, people are saying prime flow is going to be crazy now. It is not, you're not getting a prime flow multiplier on your max tank of gas. It's just, because it was always applying to your base rank 0 energy pool.
That you couldn't see anymore.
O sea, ya cuando estoy a nivel 30 técnicamente no hay ningún cambio visible. O sea, es como es solo para los Warframes a nivel 0.
Basically you end up around the same place, but everything is clearer now. And also elevates the floor, like I was saying. So any of the things you didn't want to mod, then you have higher, right? So.
People saying it's Warframe's first stat squish.
Más o menos estoy entendiendo.
Like Reb said, you shouldn't notice anything, but it'll be much clearer that your health, shield, and like those values should be much clearer at a glance.
O sea, por lo que entiendo, el mod va a actuar dependiendo de qué nivel es el Warframe.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if you actually are
Porque en el de arriba decía 440, pero en el de abajo decía 100.
O
sea, que los mods influyen, o sea, se reduce el poder del mod dependiendo del nivel del Warframe.
Pero es lo mismo. ¿Sí me hago entender?
Sí, bueno, no sé.
So obviously if you start higher and you end up at the same time, that means there's a point that you kind of start going lower. That point is
es como decir 3 por 2 es igual a 2 por 3.
Just for more nerdy.
The Dev Workshop has a lot
O sea, si él tiene 300 de vida y el mod da 200%, es igual que el Warframe tenga al contrario, porcentaje, ¿sí va a entender? O sea, 200 de vida por 300% es lo mismo de 300 de vida por 200%. Es eso. Por lo que entiendo, ese es el cambio.
Sirve, yo hago dibujitos para vivir, no estoy entendiendo.
Yo también hago dibujos y pinturas, pero le hago la matemática. A ver, 300 de vida tiene Excalibur, ¿cierto?
Ajá.
A nivel 1. Vamos por ejemplo, a nivel 1. Si tú pones el mod maximizado, digamos que ese mod da 200%.
Ajá. Son 500. Ajá.
¿Sí? ¿Sí? Ok.
Ajá.
Es lo mismo que si el Warframe ya queda totalmente leviado, digamos que queden...
Some mods are good sometimes.
Espera que la matemática ya me está bullando.
Sí, ¿ves que no es tan fácil?
Sí es fácil, porque lo entendí, ya lo entendí.
Pues entonces no lo entendí muy bien porque, a ver, ya vamos a escuchar.
Sí lo entendí, pero es raro de explicar.
Los brotes escalan porcentualmente según su nivel.
It hurts.
Ya no me puedo armar un montón de mod en ranuras polarizadas para gastar lo menos posible de energía de mods. Ya no funca como si fuera máximo nivel. No. Aparentemente. No sé por qué. No entendí muy bien.
Scott Mellinson.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like he wrote
In character, check it.
A ver.
Yeah, it's so good. Or
Okay.
like inspired by. Sorry, Scott, I didn't mean to call you out
Digamos
there.
que sí.
You're the best.
So our quality of life changes for the
¿Quién
breakdown
entró?
missions are Call Seymour. Call
Ya
now has loot
no
radar and
reconoce
enemy
la voz
radar.
de su hijo.
Ay, llamita, te
Call's
escuchas
max
diferente,
speed and
cambiaste el
overall
micro.
walking speed has been increased.
Sí.
Call
Ah,
added
bueno,
stock.
fue eso.
We've added stock pickups to break Narmer missions.
Para cuando el
Call now
crossplay me
finds additional
matan,
weapons
please.
next to
Ay,
his
eso lo
Call
veo
brothers as a way
difícil.
to add more variety to overall gameplay.
Nice.
Yep, that's it.
A little bit of a lift for our break Narmer players.
Yeah, I'll just elaborate a little bit on the stock one, just because I know that's going to be a little more tricky. Essentially, if you guys, whenever you play a Cal mission, you're often like looking around for pickups or whatever to find them. So obviously now you have the loot radar, so that will make it easier. But even when you don't find one, now you'll find a little crate with a tiny bit of stock, just so that you get something when you're looking around.
Ok,
and you
las
don't feel
misiones de
like you
Cal,
just went
si no
down
consigues a los huevones, ahora hay como cajitas que tienen lo que estás buscando.
goodbye with it.
Yep, there's 5 stock pickups per mission.
Y hay 5 de esas cajitas por misión.
Nightwave changes.
Yeah.
Cambios a la onda
Nightwave
nocturna.
changes.
Trying to blitz through those.
I'll
We're
blitz.
running low on time.
3, 2, 1. We're adding 3 permanent weekly acts intended to be unlocked with regular Warframe gameplay. For the next series, we've done a complete act audit with the goal of reworking, removing, and adding new challenges to the system. Acts are getting changes that we felt reasonable to do. So
And there is a dev workshop on this.
there is a dev workshop.
Van a
We'll
cambiar los
list it
actos,
all
que es la
out,
parte del lore.
to reduce the grind, to complete some acts, and expand in the ways players can actually complete them. And for the first time, when you log into Nightwave series, when we have a new one that pops up, you're going to get a screen that kind of highlights at a glance what Nightwave can offer you.
And it's all pictures, so you don't have to read it.
No reading.
No reading necessary.
Enseña a jugar. Por cierto, metí a mi primo al clan para que vaya jugando en lo que yo me desocupo. Pero está bien. Le enseño a jugar. ¿Qué edad tiene tu primo? Dependiendo de la edad, te digo, pasa el Discord con él.
Well, yes, but they're just always there.
Yeah, they're always there. And the main idea is, like, we still like the Nightwave kind of makes you go to different parts of the game. But we thought it was too much that all the acts do
Cumple 18,
that.
dale,
So
pasa el
now 3
Discord.
of them are basically things that you're going to get just by playing normally, completing missions, killing enemies, and whatever. So you'll basically get a little bit just from playing. And then the other ones are, like you know from before, essentially things that do make you go and do this particular, go murder a thumper or whatever, right? So
So that's coming. Partial release. Some of it will be live.
Por lo que entendí, van a cambiar algunas cosas de las misiones, de las cositas que tenemos que ir haciendo para ir ganando los puntitos del respeto para lo de Nora. Y van a haber como 2 tipos de misiones, las que uno puede hacer como por inercia, simplemente jugando. Y otras como muy particulares, que es como de si quieres subir, tienes que de a huevo hacer esa misión porque no la vas a hacer jugando otro tipo de misiones. Pero no entendí muy bien como que a qué se refieren con eso.
Yeah, so the reduced requirement ones will be in this update. Other ones when we do the next Nightwave.
Yeah, which will be
Van a haber 14 actos nuevos.
All right. Damage, attenuation.
I'll just take this one pretty quickly. This is only in the
14,
context
sí,
of Archons
14.
and Archon hunts.
Escalada nuevo, ¿eso en qué afecta la reducción del 99% de daño por habilidades de mi Trinity? No mames, al menos van a balancear un poco el tema de los mods al parecer, pero sí sería una pérdida de tiempo que quiten el nivel de los Warframes. ¿No van a quitar el nivel? Lo que, bueno, no sé.
Oh man.
What we've done with the initial goal was sometimes you can be in an Archon fight for 25 minutes, depending on if you're playing with people that don't really know the meta. So we've just taken the damage pillow. If you like, this is a visual metaphor. Right now, it's like it lets this much damage in over the attenuation, and we've kind of made it like that. So we've just made it so that you'll be doing more damage to Archons more frequently. The intention is to shave off, on average, if you're not using your one-hit builds. Shave off the time it takes to complete an Archon.
Están nerfeando los arcontes.
It will be live after this. It'll go through how it's going to impact the spread of ways that you deal damage to the Archons. Because right now, criticals roll after the damage.
Pero
it's just kind of all over
es que se dieron cuenta que la mayoría no hacemos esas misiones y llegamos a rango 39 solo jugando. Debe ser por eso.
Fire weapons with other things can do more damage. The pillows have essentially just been blasted to be more damage gets in. Damage is calculated to try and make them go faster for players that, you know, find them a little too long. And that's basically it.
Ok, bueno, la gente que ya one-shoteaba a los arcontes van a hacerle así y ya murió. Porque al parecer ahora todo lo que es armas de fuego y tal le hace mucho más daño. Pero ya de por sí los estaban one-shoteando, así que...
Before, barrels were the worst. Enemies would laugh at your barrels. Look at them laughing. They see your barrels, they don't care. But now they care. They scale.
Yeah, so basically, it's essentially
Ok, cambiaron los barriles.
Los barriles pegan mucho.
Mira, así pegaban antes y esto sí pegó y están guapos, ¿eh?
13, pega 13. Y eso pega 48.
Virga.
If they're a little further away, they take a lot of damage.
Eso no lo harán. Es que si bueno, no lo dijeron. A la verga, ya se acabó de ver el arconte y matarlo. Entonces con daño de fuego, me los como con patatas, sí.
Who knows what kind of gas is in those barrels, am I right?
They mock me, but I actually really care about this stuff.
Yo les la única razón por la que tenía las perlas.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
This is the best.
Enemy scaling.
The best day ever.
People love barrels.
Está bonita esa Ember.
Perfect.
Barrel frame.
All right, going back to that comment we saw earlier about Incarnate evolutions. If you're involved in the Incarnate system, you know that you pick a
Sistema
perk
Incarnate.
and you're set with that perk for life. You're locked
Eliges una perk y te quedas con eso de por vida, así está ahorita.
Basically made it so at least swapping them around, you can now do directly.
Bien, eso era lo que...
¿Lo puedes cambiar?
Dice bonita
Sí, claro, tú
esta
puedes cambiar eso, pero
JN
antes
chat.
no se podía en el arsenal. Tú tenías que ir hasta donde Calavera y cambiarla. Y
Bueno.
volver.
Ahorita ya se puede cambiar la perk desde el arsenal. No tenemos que ir al coño de la madre a cambiarlo. Me parece que está bien. Si es así,
Todos
está
en
bien.
todos en el chat del Warframe. ¡Vamos, por fin! ¡Finally! Sí, es que...
Speaking of being a gamer, if you are a gamer, you might have gone through Steel Path Circuit and gotten all your Incarnates. So what's next for you? What else can you acquire?
Well, if you're ranked 9 in the Duviri opportunity, whoosh, there's new rewards.
¡Ay, nuevos
Well, I
rewards!
picked mine already. Sorry,
Nice.
Pablo.
Mira, si ves que dan un potenciador de mods.
So basically you
Yo
can,
tengo el potenciador de mods, ¿lo
you
quieres
get all the
sacar?
options for Incarnons just as usual.
Lo tengo en
But
nivel
if you want,
6.
If you unlock that particular intrinsic, you can now select a ribbon instead. A ribbon
Ese
or two
silencio,
instead.
precisamente una de las
That's
razones para que
the
uses
three main
otras armas y
tabs
bajes
appear
el
there for
precio
you
del
to choose,
ribbon.
So you have something to do once you went through all the Incarnon adapters and you have them all.
There you go.
And that's it. We're done.
¡We're
That
done! Y pum, cortan de
Did
golpe.
we say
Sí, como la Tenoconchao, chao, nos vemos, va. Megan llora. No, Megan, Rebeca llora.
What do you got?
What do you got?
We
Y
did a
cortas.
pass on mod description revisions. Basically, we changed about 50 mod descriptions to be more clear.
Cambiaron la
Things
descripción de
that were
15
also
mods. De 15
confusing
mods.
about how they worked before. 50 plus all the Bane mods also got touched, so it's a bunch of different mods that got updated.
Ya que no hay nada importante, ya vengo.
Vaya.
The finisher types. So basically, there's a lot of things like decrease and things like that, or an augment for in arrows that was tied to finishers that wouldn't trigger from mercy finishers or from ground finishers. Basically, we had like a distinction between finisher, ground finisher, and mercy finisher. So now all of those would respond to the same. Basically, they would trigger the same events, and also ground finishers will now deal true damage. So they're quite a bit stronger.
It's a shame you changed Hydroid's passive that doesn't knock him down anymore.
Yeah, maybe
Reverse,
now
reverse.
you're missing it.
No longer get ground.
And that's it.
All right. Exclamation point system QOL if you would like a link to the dev workshop.
That's like legit impressive, guys.
What do you think?
That's
Are you
great.
sweating over there? You enjoying
Exactly.
yourself?
We're being reviewed right now.
Yeah.
They're reviewing
wild.
our work.
Please.
So.
I love
Keep
the
job.
person in chat. Actually, I don't. He was like, "Game should have shipped this way." Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
afraid
10
to
years
say
ago.
it doesn't. It's hard to
I mean, it doesn't quite work that way, my friend.
You can't rework Hydroid if Hydroid
It doesn't
exist.
exist. Yeah, yeah.
It's very difficult.
I think the clarity is great, and the changes
Yeah,
of
it's
scaling.
really
I'm
impressive.
very curious what will happen with builds with the changes of shield.
Yeah,
It
the
seems
shield thing-
very significant.
It is
Foro,
quite
foro,
significant.
foro,
And-
foro.
Yeah.
We will obviously be watching and monitoring when this goes out. Love your constructive feedback. I know we just put out 5 developer workshops, and I understand that's a lot. So if you just want to link to the developer workshop forums, you can do exclamation point workshop, and you can just see
And
them
this
all
comes
at a
out.
glance.
It comes out next
All
year?
of this comes out October 18th.
October 18th.
No way.
Oh my
It
God.
can't come out that
But
soon.
wait, but wait, do you know what else?
There's more.
There's more.
There can't be.
Guys,
There
we're not
is more.
done.
I'm overwhelmed.
We're not done. Also coming with the
Mintieron.
Abyss of the Goth update on October 18th is Grendel Prime.
It
Oh my
has been
goodness.
so long.
A ver.
A sweet baby Grendel.
Come on over to yeah.
El Grendel.
So cool.
Oh, look at those tusks, baby. Look at those tusks.
Oh my God, he looks so good. He is getting a Prime trailer, which will be launching closer.
Looking fun.
And it's looking very fun.
So we got Grendel
El tráiler de la
Prime
Wisp
coming with
estuvo muy
Grendel
guapo.
Prime, Xyloth
Espero que el
Prime,
tráiler de
of
este, o sea, tipo que los
course,
trailers sigan todos teniendo más o menos el mismo level.
on a stick. The Masseter Prime.
Ghost Prime probablemente viene para diciembre.
Look at it go.
Probablemente. Octubre, noviembre. Sí, más o menos en diciembre debería salir. Diciembre, enero.
Tiller, I love it.
Yeah, it is
so good.
So many
potato.
times I tried to get this.
Also coming with Grendel is a Prime Sindana, the Sumba.
La
Sindana.
Zumba.
And the ephemera
sweet.
that you saw earlier is the Oni Prime ephemera, which is very dainty for our boy Grendel.
Oni
I think it
Prime.
looks incredible.
No,
It's
so
incredible.
good, yeah.
And I also have some more fashion frame. Do you guys want to see it?
Yes.
Okay, wait, don't look
La
at this.
albóndiga Prime
Don't
is
look at
real.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, right?
Ay, quiero esas alitas. Bueno, alitas, no una sola.
It works for me.
It looks like midnight colors from Twilight Princess. Is that what it is?
My girl. Oh my god. Actually, don't know what it. Oh, this was just like we can play.
Ay, pensé que estaba así.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Ay,
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
no me gusta. No me gustan los colores que le está
Okay, that's
poniendo.
more my style.
Oh,
Negro le queda
there
mejor.
it
Come
is,
on,
there it
come
is.
on.
But I did do a
Culazo.
fashion frame with that Oni ephemera because it honestly is very tasteful on a lot of frames. What do we think of her?
Uy, el efímero está muy bonito.
Skyers drew an Ivara Prime on my cast.
Oh,
This is
that's
girl.
awesome.
This is the one frame that Skyers complimented me on, and I'll never stop saying that.
Oh, thanks.
Culazo por dos.
So nice. Oni ephemera works on some really nice ones, and another one of my favorites. Sorry, it's just Ghost with the deluxe skin. He go fast. Look at him
that
go.
looks so good.
Look at him go, Jeff.
The skin looks amazing.
It's
like
Martin
Do
Lang.
you remember when
I do like the skin a
Do you remember when
lot.
Homer made the makeup gun for Marge?
Culazo Prime. Al menos lo positivo con los colores es que los puedes pintar tal cual Picasso. Bueno, se viene fashion.
Yeah, so the day
Está
that
bonito, está
it launches on all
bonito.
platforms, you'll be able to get your hands on all those changes, those 5 dev workshops, the brand new frame, the new abyssal beacons, treasure map, ghost ship, syndicate missions, Dugat's dojo room, the frame herself, and then obviously.
Ay, ya quiero ese cuarto en el dojo, está precioso.
VISIONMORTALZZZZ. Dice ahora nos presumirán sus colores que son un dolor conseguirlos.
¿Cuál?
There are no
O sea, ¿qué paleta en particular?
Next update, Sevagoth
Yeah,
Deluxe.
and when we get to the dev stream to talk about that,
You're excited?
breaking news about that.
Is it the... No, I actually don't know.
Breaking news.
About the Sevagoth Deluxe skin.
Oh,
It's
okay.
almost so cool.
Is it the fish?
It's too cool.
No, it's not the fish.
No.
Para mí todo en su día.
2000 Platinum has gone to
Si tienes peleles, no. Si, o sea,
Hey,
si tienes
Is
peleles,
that you?
chill. Si no tienes peleles, sí.
2007! Congratulations, you have won 1,000 Platinum. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now with your game alias Platform and Play Warframe, and we'll get you your 1,000 Platinum, Danny 2007. All right, show that asset that you know and love from Tenno Live. We did announce on Tenno Live that cross-platform save is coming in 2023.
¿Será que dirán la fecha?
That is still the goal. That is still the plan.
It's
that
still
is still what
2023.
we're-
No.
It is
Still
still
2023.
2023. Also mentioned during Tenno Live is that we were going to have some behind-the-scenes code that is in Abyss of Dagoth that is going to lead to the rollout of eventually cross-save. And one of those things is the clan system and how that's going to function overall.
Yes.
Okay.
We're doing a merge so that we have, a single source of truth for clans and social under the hood, and the Dagoth update will unify that.
Yes.
And there will be something the players notice, so I assume that's what we're going to talk
That's
about.
what I was about to
Okay,
say.
you go right ahead.
For the Abyss of Dagoth update, we are adding cross-play clans. So if you
A
opt in, that's
mí
going
no
to
me
let you
duele,
invite
tengo
players
todas
from
las
other
paletas de
platforms
colores.
to join your clan. It also shows if you have a clan advertisement on other platforms, they can see it, they can request to join your clan cross-play. Now I know this is a cross-play feature, but like you said, it's part of a much larger initiative behind the scenes for cross-save when it comes to clans and comes to dojos.
Ok,
So there will be
lo primero que va a
behind-the-scenes
aparecer es el
code
cross
involved in
de los
that,
clanes, que me
what's
parece
up, what's
apropiado.
on, but this is kind of the first step
Yeah,
as
gotta
we
hoist and
yeah.
move things around. We
Porque
can
es que hay gente-
on, trading or merging right now.
Te vas a
we're
poder
gonna
venir a mi
have
clan.
to give you the true facts versus
Huevo.
what we think we
Es
are
eso.
gonna do. So,
There's a cross.
Pero no están diciendo fecha, solamente dijeron que es lo primero que van a lanzar para el tema del cross
Friends was
I thought
save.
the friends
That
might
might be-
be.
It's at least setting the stage for it. Like
Yes.
I've seen it being tested
Clans
anyway,
are,
right?
yeah, it is being tested right now.
Es lo que es
Crossplay,
eso, o sea,
cross-platform
está chido eso de
friends
que
Yeah.
pues
is being tested right now.
se va a pasar al
It
clan y
will
todo, pero
be coming.
ya voy a
I'm not
poder
sure if it's in this
tradear,
update,
¿no?
but
Yep.
this is, we need this update to get there.
Yeah.
So
No, se
that's
rompe.
the point.
Making
Llega a pasar
steps,
eso, el
we're making
mercado se
steps.
rompe. Total.
All right.
Sí.
Shall we do Wisp Prime Access?
Yeah.
Before we
Ya de
go-
por sí con que dejen que la gente entre al dojo, o sea, ponle que no podemos intercambiar todavía, pero hay gente, por ejemplo Ikari, él es de Switch, no ha entrado a ningún dojo y hay cosas que están en el dojo investigadas que un chiquito necesita y no las ha podido sacar porque no hay muchos
Yeah, no puddle
clanes, por ejemplo en Switch.
RIP.
RIP.
Que se
All right,
rompa el
Wisp Prime
mercado,
Access is
anarquía.
going to the lucky Twitch viewer of I can't read that.
Drag.
Thorth?
Drag
Luego
Thor.
gasto plata para comprar todas las paletas de colores. Yo tengo algunas, no todas.
Underscore.
Congratulations, you won a
Drag
Wisp
Thor.
Prime. You won
Eh,
a Wisp Prime Access.
no me actualiza. Gracias por el follow, bienvenido al escuadrón. A ver, déjame ver si me sale aquí tu nombre.
Your Wisp Prime Access. Hey, in the next dev stream, it'll be Grendel Prime.
Pa, 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 pam.
Hey.
All right. There's a reason why these two individuals are here. We
What?
have
We're
Warframe
here to
on-
just have fun.
Spooky, Spooky, gracias por el follow, besito. Mua. ¿Ya qué?
Ya se ganaron la PC Excalibur.
I've seen
Ah, ¿en
lots of
serio?
that,
I know you have.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it.
Hay que,
Estadounidense.
Very curious what
hay que ir a que saques las reliquias. Tienes que farmear las reliquias. Pero para farmear las reliquias tienes que seguir sacando los planetas.
Now a word
Depends on
from our
colors.
sponsors.
Soulframe. Take it away, boys.
Oh my god, that is so outrageous.
Dale, Steve.
Why not?
Warframe is funding
Yeah, Warframe's ours.
Dale, Steve.
So it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, but you funded this dev
Do
stream.
you have
Oh, did
gummy
I?
worms?
Yeah, you don't give me the worms back.
Verga, ya van casi 2 horas de dev stream.
Danny?
You caught them that time.
God.
We don't have a lot to say about Soulframe, but we have a little bit to say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
No, no
Put the music
puedes.
video live.
If you go to our
yes.
YouTube page,
Exclamation point SF music will take you right there. Look at that.
Rivers of
So the
Dendria.
beautiful
Rivers
song
of Dendria.
at the climax of our live demo at TennoCon.
Los lagos de
A lot
Dendria.
of people were requesting the song. So
Ríos,
today,
no lagos.
Loop it on YouTube.
yeah.
Please go listen. It is beautiful.
Música, hay música de Soulframe en el YouTube
What
de
did they say?
Soulframe.
Smash the buttons on the smashing.
Oh, yeah, can we
Crush
YouTube
those
Yeah.
buttons between your thick thighs.
Oh,
And you know, we're going to be putting up. I think we have an animation.
Que entre los muslos
yeah, we're gonna
¿De quién?
hopefully do a regular check-in with some of the developers on kind of the progress of the game.
No sé, escuché between.
Yeah, and if you. If you
Quizás soy yo malentendiendo las
some
cosas.
people
No sé.
just are like, shut up and tell me when the game's out. Obviously, this channel's not going to be for you because we're a bit of ways out working on the game still.
The YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel and the game itself.
And when is this game coming?
When is this free game coming?
But-
Yeah.
a pretty big but there.
So we've got the Discord. That is
Exclamation point
I'm
SF
joining.
Discord.
Ah, ya tienen
Join.
Discord de
SF
Soulframe.
Discord. So,
Sarah's in there now.
Sarah's
Sarah's in
in there
there.
waiting
Yeah.
to chat, and Jeff and I are gonna.
Raidémoslos como le hicieron a Wayfinder.
Before Jeff snap, he's going to
Imagino.
jump into the Discord, and we'll be in Discord for the next few hours answering questions that you might have. if you're
Nice. Bueno, si a alguien le interesa
interested in
Soulframe, van a estar en el Discord de
I know
Soulframe
there's
respondiendo
not, a lot
preguntas.
to go on yet, and we're
La
still
primera
early,
que estos van a
so
hacer cuando
if
sale.
you are just
Cuando-
shut up
cuando
and,
crossplay.
wake me up when the game comes out, then this isn't for you. But if you want to,
Oh my God, there's people in there.
you want to be early in there, come
Cuando
by
matan
and
los
we'll talk to
internos.
you. And then lastly, I think, which is a little more nerve-wracking
Scary and exciting.
and dramatic,
Yeah.
is well, I suppose in the same way that we built Warframe, we'd like to build Soulframe with some of you, and that means
Beta?
that in December we are going to be offering.
We're hoping for December.
In December.
Ya va.
In December.
Doesn't say what year.
In December,
I
a
think we
very.
broke Discord. It's too fast.
Okay, well, we'll put slow mode on. In December, we're going to start kind of raffling off slots to play the.
¿Van a
basically the
sortear
prelude version of
espacios?
Soulframe, which is the prototype.
Para que jueguen
pre-alpha. You
la
thought,
pre-alpha,
the
imagínense,
beta tag on
de-
Warframe was a
del
joke. Well,
Soulframe.
this alpha tag is not a joke. And so I think this is going to be PC first. That obviously the
Solo
game is
PC.
going to be on many platforms. But during this
Chan.
Preludes phase, just for the iteration time, we're going to be inviting small groups of people to come in and give us feedback on really simple stuff like.
Ok, van a sortear espacios para que personas random jueguen.
You can run through. You'll be able to run through. What is
¿Qué es Soulframe? Soulframe es un juego. El que está hablando, él era antes el director creativo de Warframe. El año pasado, en la TennoCon del año pasado, él dimitió, por decirlo de alguna manera, porque ahora el equipo de Warframe se dividió y están desarrollando otro juego que es un Souls-like con estética parecida a la de Warframe.
El hijo de Warframe y Dark Souls.
Sí, básicamente eso.
Bueno, muchachos, me paso a retirar.
Dale, Silvi. Gracias por quedarte un ratito.
We can do
Cualquier
like-
cosita, ahí entro y los veo de nuevo.
Sell this on
Dale,
eBay.
dale.
We're gonna do a Soulframe key Twitch picker. Now, it's obviously not gonna do anything right now for you, but we
Yep.
will get you to
Get your
whisper
info,
us.
yeah.
We'll get your email. We'll get it all
Yep.
sorted out so
Yep.
that you will be in that
Is it-
alpha.
Is it going to be multiplayer?
Yes. So
Player King.
Player King X47 the first.
Wow! All right, very important.
The
Player.
first, I can't
Come
believe
on,
it.
really?
That's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
Please whisper. The Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now. We need
Bueno,
your email.
a mí me
We're gonna
gustaría
chat with
jugarlo.
you. We'll get all the information
Evidentemente
we
no
need
me voy a
from you,
meter
and
para
then
la vaina del
obviously
sorteo
be
porque,
in
ajá,
connection with you when
diciembre,
it gets closer to
finales.
this alpha.
That's right.
Pero,
Again,
cuando
if you're
salga
a
me gustaría
console
mucho
player,
jugarlo.
my apologies.
O
The
cuando abra
search
una
up
beta.
does kind of
Es que
make
estaría
it a bit
padre.
of a barrier
Sí.
for us to do this kind of
No, y que va a
prelude
ser un
prototype,
Souls-like
so this is gonna
multi,
start on
¿sabes?
PC, and then we're gonna open
El
it up
único
to more
Souls-like multi que he
platforms.
jugado ha
Obviously, our
sido
intention is to be on those
Remnant, y Remnant me gustó mucho, al menos el primero. El segundo no lo he jugado todavía.
We started talking about how happy TennoCon made us just to be back in person with our community. We're really it's October next week, and we have a great Warframe update.
Si quieres jugar un Souls, que está bueno. Muy sencillo en comparación con otros Souls.
We'll have a October dev stream and a November dev stream, both of which will be looking towards Whispers in the Walls, which is releasing this year for Warframe.
Ah, salió hace poco, ¿no? Vi que varios lo estaban jugando.
And then the next major one will be in December.
Está bueno.
Y está bueno.
Did you see the YouTube? The
La historia de mucha referencia a los libros de Pinocho.
Oops.
Now you're fine.
El libro de Pinocho.
Anyway,
¿Qué dijeron del crossing? No,
we made it under 2 hours.
Oh, great. Not bad.
Oli Hernán, bienvenido. Básicamente lo que dijeron, todavía no han dado fecha.
I'm gonna fill my diaper
Dijeron,
because I really
por
like it.
el feeling que dieron, no están seguros de que vaya a ser para este año, porque no pudieron prometer una fecha. Lies of P básicamente es una referencia a Pinocho. Ah, Lies of P. Pero lo que dijeron es que lo primero que va a aparecer es el tema de los clanes. Ya van a poder personas de otros clanes entrar a tu clan. De otras plataformas. Lo que no aclararon es si ya se puede, tipo, porque sabes que en el dojo tú puedes intercambiar cosas con las otras plataformas. No aclararon si eso ya se va a poder hacer, pero ya puedes invitar gente de otras plataformas a tu clan. Entonces crossplay de clanes no lo sé, porque es que básicamente igual eso ya les da, es que va a ser un desmadre. Lo del crossplay, o sea, sí, crossplay de clanes sí, pero el tema del tradeo es que yo creo que eso, no sé, puede ser un desastre. Eso cuando salió, ya salió, no dieron fecha, dijeron que va a ser para este año, que es lo primero que quieren implementar para el tema del cross-save, crossplay, pero no dieron fecha. Mucho no me interesa lo del cross-save, ya que solo juego en PC, pero llegué a que mostraran, no llegué a que mostraron de Hydroid. Básicamente el Hydroid ahora es corrosivo, corrosivo, corrosivo. La primera mete corrosivo viral. La segunda, que es la de Lolita, ya no los lanza así para todos lados, sino que los redirige todos hasta el final de la ola y quedan todos ahí agrupados, o sea, tiene mucho más control. La 3, ¿cuál era la 3? Ah, la 3, ahora, ¿sabes que tiene esto de que quitaba estados con el aumento? Ahora, por default, la 3 quita estados, hace otras cosas, no recuerdo ahorita bien, y el aumento solo hace que con la 3 puedas quitarle estados a los demás. Lobito, gracias por el follow, bienvenido al escuadrón, besito. Y el 4, los tentáculos ya no sacude a todos así a lo loco, sino que quedan en un solo sitio. Y los tentáculos que están vacíos buscan enemigos. Eso es crossplay, lo cual si es global, lo que viene es cross-save. Yo espero que sí. Eso del clan ya tiene que tardar. Todo lo del cross en general ya ha tardado bastante, la verdad. Alguna vez he podido jugar con personas de otras plataformas, pero no parecía ser, no entendí eso, pero no parecía ser global. Eso tiene más sentido. Bueno, chicos, ese fue el dev stream. ¿Qué les pareció? La verdad yo quedé un poquito picada porque básicamente lo que yo estaba esperando lo retrasaron. La salida de lo que estaba esperando que hablaran lo retrasaron, que era esta parte de lo del, ¿cómo se llama? El melee. Van a hacerle un cambio al sistema melee que no explicaron, solo explicaron lo del auto melee. Quería ver eso, a ver qué onda, pero bueno, no se pudo. Ya va a ver esto ahora. Está ahí. Está como raro ahí, ya va. Warframe.